We have 2. Thanks to the 2. Can you hear me? Are you brave enough to let me know whether you can hear me? Okay, we have 2 shy ones, so let's see if anyone else joins us. Oh dear. Okay, we have 8 people. Is one of you brave enough to let me know if you can hear me? I tried with the first 2, but they're too shy to even go, yes, or no. Hey RPM Nitro, how's it going, bro? Can you hear me? Wow, back down to 2. Goodness me. This could be a struggle. You can hear me, Welsh Warrior. Thank you. I can't believe how hard it is to get people to answer that question. So I noticed cheers, mate. I noticed a slight faux pas in last night's live stream. We're learning each time, we're learning. I'm surprised no one mentioned it in the comments. Everyone was saying the sound was good, and the sound was good. However, there was the fan. There was this underlying wind throughout the live. So, for the first time, I've got my fluffy bit out. I thought I'd fluff it up. Fluff up the microphone. So hopefully that won't happen tonight. However, it's not feeling good. I'm not panicking, but I can feel the anxiety starting because there's only, well, now we have 11 and I'm like, whoa, how am I going to get through the first 10 minutes before people get their comments in? Because I've just woke up. So don't expect meetings to you. Can you, cheers, Jamie. Can you help get this live stream going? Are you in Europe now as it's 3 a.m. in Asia? You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think that I'm a sensible human. Well, probably not. But in general, take me out of the equation. You would think that a sensible human would would choose his sleep over live streaming. But no, as you know, I'm not sensible. So I'm in Cambodia. And I've developed a new sleep cycle, regime, way, where I go to bed well, it started when I got sober. So I got sober and realized that the evenings are hella boring. So I might as well go to bed at 8 p.m., wake up at 2, 4, whatever, 3, and then live stream in the evening in the UK. Now, I've had a little smoky smoke since then, but I'm trying to keep it going. Yeah, I mean, it works quite well. So put it this way, I'm not setting alarms or anything like that. You know, it's like if I wake up before 10 p.m. UK time, then I'll go live. So that seems to be the way. The lives have been going really well. They've been very lucrative for me, and I've really enjoyed them in general. So yeah, that's why we're here. But it's a struggle to get going. For me, first thing in the morning. It's certainly not my hot time. It's my pre-coffee time as well. I literally come on like with my first coffee of the day. So it can be a little bit slow at the start, but usually you get going into something potentially worthwhile. All right, my new member Sophie is here. Hey Sophie, thank you for your support. Much love. We've got some love in the house, which is always nice. And then we've got this one. What do you do with this one? Vic Kesky, hello. Oh, you're interesting, Vic. You're interesting. I'll give you that. We like interesting people. But my God, you is nuts. You make me look sane. Maybe, perhaps not. Oh, caffeine. Oh, caffeine. How we love caffeine. So, if you watched yesterday's stream, you will know that my coffee was ass. I opened a new bag of coffee, and it was ass. And we discussed, do I love myself enough? Well, really, I just riffed on it. Do I love myself enough to write off the $3 that I spent on the ass coffee and and buy some good coffee? Anyway, I am no longer drinking ass coffee. Yesterday, I bought 2 kilos of the chocolate, nutty, wonderful, hopefully not Nestle, natural, hopefully, probably pesticide as fuck, Cambodian coffee. So there we are. Oh, we've got 2 big ones in, 2 big chats in. So that's great. Thanks, guys, because I'm very much in the, oh my goodness. I just woke up. I got super high last night. I haven't even drank my first coffee. What the hell are we going to talk about? But here is Albus. Albus, I am sweating like a bloody pig, literally pouring off me. It has been so hot here today, and I just got home from walking the dogs, and it's still hottish. Can't walk them during the day, too hot. So in general, so I totally agree with you, Albus. French bulldogs absolutely cannot be walked in super hotness. However, there is also this psyop that I can't speak into something like that without speaking to a psyop as well, where they shame dog owners for taking their dogs out in the heat. And okay, so we're not talking about French bulldogs here. Like, say you've got a mongrel or a Labrador, or a dog that hasn't been designed for humans to go, ah, it's so cute, but doesn't actually really work. Now, I'm sure Albus is great, but in general, all this shaming that seemed to start in 2020, like, you can't walk a dog in the heat, it's cruel it's just constant shaming in the UK. And then obviously you come to Cambodia and there's fucking dogs walking around everywhere midday in Cambodia, and it's just like, so I just have to pick up on that. But I totally appreciate, for Albus, it definitely would be too much. So why is there something in this? Like, is it extraordinarily hot? And so presumably they want, obviously there's a lovely instrument I like called harp, totally unrelated to what we're talking about. So some mad conspiracy theories, not me obviously, always trust your government and your doctors, think that they control the weather. And it was really bizarre that in COVID, when they were introducing this new concept of zero freedom to the people, getting them used to zero freedom, but the weather was just fabulous, just at the time when we were saying, stay at home and you can't leave your garden. So, sometimes I get a bit sinister-minded and wonder if everything's controlled. So why are they doing it? What's going on? Is it just about killing crops? Is it about pushing the changes of the climates? Or is it just a normal fucking summer and they're producing red maps and hysteria over absolutely nothing at all? North and Forth, that's a good name. Good morning, brother, or good evening for you. Thank you for a nice long comment. Really helps, because otherwise we've got nothing. How's the fluffy thing working out? Can you hear any wind noise from the fan? Can I turn it up? It's on the basic set. It's on number 1. I'd like to put it on number 2, but I don't want to ruin the live stream. Hi, Tom. So this is Keep It Real 420. Well, that's a good start. Hi, Tom. Hey, Tom. I have just come back from an awesome ayahuasca stint in Guatemala. I am now living in one of the remotest parts of the Highlands, Scotland. Wow, you've had a good time, haven't you? Like living permanently, permanently is a strong word, like constantly for the foreseeable? Or are you visiting the Scottish Highlands? I would love, have I ever even seen the Scottish Highlands? I probably have in my camper van, yeah, I have. Wonderful, wonderful. How was the retreat? Do you want to share what came up? You probably shouldn't share what came up, actually. Don't make it a story. It's yours. But if you would like to share with anyone in the chat, like why you did ayahuasca, what, without, I mean, share whatever you want, obviously. If you want to go personal, go personal. But I was always taught that the minute you share it as a story, it becomes a story and not your deep personal experience. So, yeah, it'd be really cool if you would share into the chat, like why you do it, what you get out of it, just sort of general sharings, and, personally, if that feels right to you. It's good coffee, man. If anything, it does border slightly on the sweet side. I'm thinking, if I did 3/4 the chocolate coffee and 1/4 the ass coffee, it would probably be perfect, because the ass coffee is just super bitter with no notes of loveliness. But that is a bit much, to be honest. It's a bit like, oh, can I drink 2 kilos of this in a row? Like, it's like crack coffee, sugar coffee. I mean, I'm hoping it's not got sugar in it, but it's blooming sweet. Matt's in the house. All the best ones are in the Highlands today. Hey, bro. Oh, you're in New Zealand. Excellent, man. I wish I could see it, but they won't let me in. Bastards. Do you know about that? What's wrong with your country? Why did they not let me on my plane and cost me £500? Totally agree, Tom. This is Albus. Dogs are not... Oh, bloody hell. Do you really think I'm that clever? Brachycephalic. Ooh, Albus! Look at me and my big words. Can be out in the heat, but still take care, as they are prone to heat strokes more than humans. Yeah, I mean, I think when you've got a French Bulldog, all that goes out the window. Like, I think it's different. I mean, almost any bull breed, not Staffies, they're proper. Bull breeds struggle in the heat, and I would say, I don't know, thinking about it, when I was a dog walker, I had loads of French Bulldogs, and unless they were off with like eye infections or the numerous things that happened to them, I still took them out walking in the summer. Yeah, I mean, if you can play, if it makes no difference to your day, why not? And just for you, like, who would want to walk in the midday heat? Of course, you're going to walk morning and evening. Right? Makes total sense. But I do think, I think you're wise to be more aware, especially to be aware of this when you have a French Bulldog. If you had a Labrador, I'd just be like, no. I'm more prone to strokes than humans. All I can say is I work with, God knows, let's say 10,000, but it could be fucking 100,000. But I mean, I work with dogs non-stop, 50 dogs a day for 5 years, and I never saw one have a stroke. And I was, not only were we walking them in the heat in the summer, we were picking them. I mean, okay, the van had a ventilation and all that, but it was hot. So they could spend like an hour in the van either side, even, like it's obviously moving with the windows down and all that, but it's just bollocks. What Sophie got to say? She just don't care. She's just done. I just don't care no more. I don't care. I'm loving the heat. Yeah. I mean, fuck me. Debbie doesn't like the heat, but like the people, like, how can you have any reaction other than this? Like, you haven't seen the sun for 2 years. They've blocked it out. You've had nothing but a grey sky for 2 years. I'm not saying no one in this chat's complaining. And just in general, it seems to be mainly. I have a fact that this is even, so this is a very positive person who's speaking very positively, and in her message, in her chat, in her comment, I can feel what she's experiencing, which is people going, it's too hot. No, it's very silly for you to go outside. She feels a need to say, I'm loving the heat, as if the norm is not loving the heat. You'd think people who hadn't seen the sun for 2 years would be quite happy to see it. But I appreciate it. It must be really intense. Like it does, you know, did I look at X yesterday? I think I might have had 2 or 3 minutes on X yesterday. I feel, you know, I just feel like even though I don't really know where I've seen it, it must be the very brief times I've been on X. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people like as if it's a problem. By the coast, love being on the beach and camping out for selfies. Selfie. Right, here we go, guys. This is the perfect example of higher vibrations coming in. So we have a Sophie. She's snuck back on. She's only banned from one of my channels. And she's an absolute nightmare. I mean, that's harsh. But, you know, she's not cool, let's just say that. We let her go, we ban her, and we, you know, tell her what for. And she basically, oh yeah, so on 2 live streams ago, she left for some high vibrations because she's so high vibrational. So basically, we've got rid of a very low vibrational louche eater. And guess what happens? A new Sophie appears. She joins the membership more than crap Sophie ever managed to muster in her 2 years of energy harvesting from me. And then she puts in great comments that don't irritate me and drive me around the bend. So this is how your external reflects your internal, how trust works, and how letting go of low vibrations and creating space for higher vibrations to come in is shown in the external. Thank you, Sophie, for being a wonderful example of this process and high vibrational energy. Why would I do that? AI is obviously programmed to lie. So funny how these people hang on to it, man. And it's just so obviously bollocks. Like, just trust your senses. or look into it either way. It's very, very obvious. No. I'm assuming that's some sort of gay pharmaceutical. Apple cider vinegar, mate. It's worked, it's done, it's finished. Still working on the Veruca, it's getting a lot better. Now, the next thing that I've just messaged you about is, I really hope it's not an infection. I can't see how it's an infection because I have no cuts, but so on the top of my foot now, where the Veruca is, I think it's because I've been walking funnily because of the Veruca on a tiled floor. So now I'm wearing my Crocs constantly with socks on, obviously, because they are very toxic. What they make Crocs out of is horrendous. Yeah, so I'm hoping that's just like sort of an impact / walking like a twat thing. But yeah, a little bit worrying because last time I had this on my foot, it blew up into a huge infection, but I did have a massive cut on my foot where the Veruca had been taken out, and I was living in dusty Thailand and I wasn't taking antibiotics because I was mental. So yeah, I was trying to do what I'm doing now and basically not use pharmaceuticals, but I hadn't replaced them with the herbs. No, I did. Yeah. No, I tried tea tree oil. I tried to not treat, but keep clean, stop being infected, like a centimeter or a ½ centimeter fucking hole in my foot in a dusty, parasite-ridden country. So that didn't work out well. Really didn't work out well. It was actually quite scary for a time. I was like, am I going to lose my foot? Oh, right, the New Zealander. I remember them not letting you in. I sold my business, house, and all my belongings and left the UK. I have to leave New Zealand in less than a month. Okay, so tell us a bit more, mate. You sound very interesting. So you've sold everything in the UK. You've seen what's not even what's coming, what's happening there. So presumably you have no plans to go back to the UK. Presumably your visa's about to expire. What are your future plans? Do you have enough money for the rest of your life? How are you earning an income? Those are all the questions that jump to my mind. Albers, we'll be back in a wee while. I need to shower. My clever word is just a name for squished. Okay, for fuck's sake, man. As if I was ever going to know that. You show off. I had Staffies from baby, beautiful, best dogs ever, right up to 7 years ago. But they're such good family dogs. So loyal, so loving, little bit over the top energetically. Wonderful dogs. My first ever dog was a Staffy, Charlie. And therefore my mum's second dog. She ended up taking him on. Why did she take him on? When I got a job. He just preferred her. She used to come every Sunday and walk him in the woods. And this is before I was 18, For me, walking a dog was a hassle. So I did it every day, but it was like just round the block and stuff like that. And God, we loved each other. But, I was 18. I was just interested in substances. And my mum would come every Sunday to walk him, and he'd know she was coming on a Sunday. He'd be like super excited in the morning. And the minute he heard her engine or anything, he was just mad for it. So he just loved her. And then I started working, and it was just the obvious decision. He preferred her, which is really bizarre because she's not a dog. She loves dogs, but she's crap. Like they all end up like on it. Like she can't let them off a lead. Actually, she did fucking well with Charlie. Charlie was mental, and she used to walk him off a lead. And he was, he was mental. He certainly had aggression in him and all sorts of craziness. Put it this way, like Margot, for example, ended up loving me more than my mum, and because I have a way with dogs, a leadership with dogs, it's obvious that if you put me and my mum in a room with 100 dogs, 90 of them are going to be around me for sure. But Charlie just absolutely loved her. So he spent the last 3 years of his life with her, I think. So yeah, he's sort of like a bit of a legendary family dog. And then my mum just got Staffies from there on for ages. And now, Margot's a Staffy cross. Yeah. Since Charlie, my mum's had nothing but at least Staffy crosses or full-on Staffies. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Keeping it real. In a few words... Oh, right, okay, so this is ayahuasca experience. In a few words, childhood trauma and energy blocks. Yes, exactly, every time. My first ceremony this time, I just asked for love, nice. I got so much love from the medicine, it's filled me up and passed it on to little me, childhood, keeping it real. Fantastic, that's wonderful, I'm so happy for you. Not that it was ever going to be anything else, she always gives people what they need. She's a wonderful medicine. So presumably you would recommend this to others. Keep it real. Can you let us know if you would recommend it to others? Albert says, already showered maybe. Must admit, I just read the heat stroke in dogs, so it could, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Don't read anything that isn't from 100 years ago. Nonsense. Yeah, I mean, or just go by experience, I find, and in this case, I have a lot of experience. Dog walker, 50 dogs a day for 5 years, let's say, and then dog crash, another again 50 dogs a day for 5 years. Never saw a stroke in a dog. Oh, cool. Did I say something funny? That's great. Did I say carry on camping? I don't think I said carry on camping. I've missed something. Oh well, as long as I made you laugh, that's fine. Okay, so UK man escapes New Zealand, about to get kicked out in a week. No plans to go back, not enough money for the rest of my life, no plan. Amazing, mate. I just love you. I just love it. Trusting. And just not living out of fear. There's gonna be some moments, I'm sure, that this man has where he's like, oh shit, what the hell am I gonna do? But, compare that to just being like, I'm trapped in the UK, there's nothing I can do, I'm gonna get beheaded. Just make an empowered move and trust. And of course, if you've got a house to sell, that makes it easier. But honestly, I'm about to do a video where I show where you can live in Vietnam for £83 a month, all bills included, including your internet. And honestly, right, so not many people could do this because obviously it's giving up all your, just conditioning really, but let's call them Western comforts for something way better. But it's miles off for people. I mean, honestly, I think you could live in this particular village, in this particular space for like, if you didn't smoke and you didn't drink, I can't really see how you'd spend more than £300 or £400 a month. And like, yeah, I understand it's kind of good to have a little nest egg. Like I got £5 together before I came out here, but I haven't, oh yeah, I kind of have needed it actually. But then I haven't been living in this hut, you know, I've been moving around, and it's been, obviously that makes it a lot more expensive, and I've been living in nice places. I just think get out. It's a difficult one, man. It's either get £5 together and get to a country where you can work, and there's a lot more countries you think, you know, I mean, I would put Vietnam in that category, even though on paper you can't. I would not put Thailand in that category. You know, Cambodia, you know, oh no, Cambodia you can actually legally work. Now, by work, of course, you're going to have to create your own income. You're not going to just you're not just going to go and be able to work in a bar. But, you know, you can legally, in Cambodia, you can definitely legally start a business. And you might even be able to legally work, but you can't work because it would be Cambodian wage, and you can't live on a Cambodian wage. So you do have to create your own business. So, you know, I just posted videos every single day, just knowing that was what I had to do to get out of the UK. So yeah, creating an online income. For me, just all my focus went into that, because there was no other option for me. I couldn't see I didn't see there was another option. Staying in the UK was not an option. So glad I did it. So he's got no plans to go back. He's not got enough money for the rest of his life. No plan. New Caledonia next. Is that a country? Then Oz, then back to Asia. I'll be gutted if I end up having to go back to UK. I don't think you will, mate. I don't think you will. I think the fact you've done what you've done just shows that you've got enough about you and you're tenacious and you'll just make it work. Because it is incredible, like it does take a certain, you know, you can't be an utter depressed R. But I can't even say my R's. Oh my God, that's so bad. You know, until you get like, you know, the conditioned, the brain, the repressed version of ourselves. So for one living in the UK, wants to plan everything, doesn't want to leave without assurances, but sometimes you just need to get £5 in your skyrocket or a shitty little YouTube channel and do it. Or in this guy's case, you know, maybe £100 if you can, you know, great, well, fantastic. But, you know, don't let it be a barrier. Don't stay around bioweapons and tyranny and two-tier injustice out of fear. And if you've got more than £5 in the bank, then I just think you're a fool if you're still in the UK. So that's all of my chat. Sorry, guys, but that's what I think. It's just my opinion. You don't need to get upset and triggered. You can just laugh, or you can hear it as a truth. You can do whatever you want with it. If you get triggered, then you need to do some self-work. Because whatever's triggering you is representing something that's unresolved in yourself. Because if what I said was just untrue and wasn't hooking onto one of your kinks, your traumas, then you just laugh and smile and go, oh, Tom's being silly again. You won't be like, I hate you, narcissist. Inner City Unit. Evening, Tom, from Nottingham. Not that it's really worth a mention anymore. Yes, no explanation needed. But there you go. Thank you for joining the chat. And yeah, Nottingham was shit before the UK was shit, wasn't it? I remember before I woke up, before I even knew there was a migration problem or anything, I remember a couple of my mates moved to Nottingham. What was it called? Was it Stabbingham or Knifington or... Oh, Shottingham. Because it had, and I remember discussing it, but race didn't come into it. It had a very strangely high number of shootings, and you know, also it had a very high black population. But those two things aren't correlated, of course. So it was one of the first cities to get like inundated with, you know, bioweapons. Not so much for Muzzies, is that right? And probably, like, I'm sure now it's full of them, but you know, I think so. I'm going back 20 years here, when it was called Shottingham. I mean, that's more of a bioweapon thing than a sandwrap thing, isn't it? Shooting people. I mean, it's like, would you prefer to be shanked with a big religious knife and raped, or would you prefer to be shot and head stomped? That's the difference between our two newer idols. Multiculturalism, everyone, diversity is your strength. Krishna has a callus on his foot. It's permanent now, part of the family. Try apple cider vinegar, man. Honestly, it seems to be a wonder. Any recommendations for nudist cameras? Are we talking about nudist cameras? Sophie's great. I love Sophie. She can take it. Oh my God, she's so different to crap, Sophie. Like, she can take the mick out of herself. Like, there's nothing better than somebody who can laugh at themselves. It's self-awareness. You have to be self-aware to be able to laugh at yourself. And you have to love yourself. You have to at least have an element of self-love. And, not being utter hatred and repression like crap Sophie is. Feet are so important, man. Krishna, my feet are a war zone, lol, but I still love trekking about. Will never stop. Great. I hope you do. I hope you're never stopped by your war zone feet. I think feet are worth looking after. He says, while he's using apple cider vinegar to cure a fucking verruca. But yeah, feet, man. Problems with your feet is big problems. That's what I found. Baxter Bashby, are you that YouTuber that wanted to do a collab? Maybe. Would you? So yeah, if you are listening or you are that guy, I would be willing to do one video with you. But you were talking about, he's got 35 subs. So that's, number one is, why would I bother? Also, I haven't watched his content, but I can just tell it's like, yeah, so it's like, do you want to get a house together and create content together? I've got 35 subs. You didn't say that bit, obviously. I was like, no. But I would do an episode with you. I'd feature you in one of my episodes, and, depending on how much of a tard you are, then maybe a second one. But I definitely am not going to live with you. Even if you had 35,000 subs. Would you recommend doing YouTube videos for another person to make an income in Southeast Asia? Yeah, absolutely, if it's for you. Obviously, I think YouTube is the best way one can earn money. I think it's fantastic. I think it's, the dream. Now, that doesn't mean it's all gravy, there's a lot of shit that goes with it. A lot, So it's been a huge, more importantly than the surface level, for me, it's been a huge learning experience. It opens you up to everyone, both the full spectrum, so the demons and people like Sophie. So, it's been a huge journey in learning to love myself, actually. You could call it confidence. But, if I look back at when I first started and the stories I had around whether I could do this or not, and obviously that's all linked to self-worth, and it goes way deeper. And then there's the whole reflecting thing, like, yes, okay, most people are just projecting and are full of hate, but you receive some very good reflections, very good advice. You meet amazing people. Lee, I wouldn't have met Lee without my YouTube. So it's wonderful. And then you've got the financial side. If you work hard, and I think the word consistency needs to be mentioned as well. You need to be very consistent. I think certainly for travel vlogging, you need to post every day, especially in Southeast Asia. It's a very saturated market. You've got to stand out, and you've got to be consistent. And I was going to say, if you're a boring pleb, then no. But you know what? There's a market for that. Honestly, if you just show up as you, obviously you won't be as authentic as me, but as much you as you can be, and you post every day or at least 4 times a week, I can't say you will make it, but honestly, if you post every day for a year, 5 times a week for a year, you'll get something. I mean, Jeroen's got 125 subs, and he's, It's not great. I did actually manage to watch a full video yesterday. His first video back in Holland. Was all right. I managed to watch it, which is more than I can say for most of his videos. Anyway, this is a friend of mine. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, there's a market, there's a niche, there's a people for everyone. Just think like the mad spectrum of this world and how stupid people are. Like if you don't think you're anything special, well, there's a lot of non-special people waiting to be non-special with you. And I'm not saying that's you, Baxter Bashby. I have no idea. But yes, absolutely. But don't go into it thinking it's easy. Except you're going to have your soul crushed 50 times before you make it. You're going to want to quit at least. I think I wanted to properly, or maybe did quit for at least a week, 3 or 4 times. And interestingly, I quit. Yeah, I mean, it's just so unbelievable how it works. I'm sure this is right. That was it. So I quit. I quit on about the 15th of December, 2 years ago. And I had this one video that I hadn't posted because I was scared of people's reactions. And it wasn't even that bad. Compared to my content now, it was nothing. It was basically where I said what I think for the first time. Why are these bioweapons in my country? They are disgusting. Of course, not all of them. Some of them are very good. I'm yet to meet one, but I'm assured that some of them are very good. That's not true. Lee in Thailand is half bioweapon, and he's very good. And there's one other guy that begins with an I think his title, his name on here, and a commenter who's won, and he's pretty good. He's very good, in fact. So there are 2 good ones in the whole world. Lost it. So what's your situation, Baxter Bashby? Have you started? I mean, it looks like you started. That looks like the sort of profile picture of somebody who's desperately trying to make a living online in Thailand. Oh, it's such a beaten path, man. It's such a common story. So this is why you've got to be consistent, because you are up against 1,000 people, all trying, 100 million, 1,000 billion people, all trying to do the same thing. All desperate to live in Thailand and earn a living online that isn't teaching English to Chinese kids. Good luck, Baxter Bashby. Tell us where you're at in your journey. Should we get his channel up? Can we be bothered to get his channel up? At Baxter Bashby. Let's have a look how Baxter Bashby is doing. Oh. So it's here we go. So the answer is not great. It looks like this is an idea, and Baxter Bashby is currently feeling all the fear and all the repression that he must feel before he dares post his first video. He's going to be shitting himself when he records his first video, just like I was. He's going to think it's really important, just like I did. It is not. You're working a muscle. You're working a muscle for the first time. Just create some videos and put them out there. You can always delete them, but actually don't. I really regret deleting my earlier ones out of shame. Because now, looking back, I'd love to be able to laugh at them. But don't take it so seriously, Jeff. You're learning. No one's going to see your first videos anyway. It really doesn't matter how bad they are, because they will be bad. Your first videos are always going to be terrible. So just accept that and have a play and see what happens. Don't put so much importance on your first video. So many people will spend a lifetime planning their first video, which is basically because they're too scared to do it. You only learn by doing it, man. You can watch as many YouTubers as you want. You can watch as many people tell you how to do it as you want. Nah, fuck that. Like, yeah, okay, great, do that. That's 5%. 95% is doing it and experiencing it. So give it a go. Good luck. Right, I'm just going to put the kettle on, but maybe there's something I could have riffed into. Bramall Lane. Sheffield Uncut. I'm wondering if we can ever escape the noise, Tom. The road I live on is quiet compared to Bramall Lane, where I usually live. That was chaos. So it sounds like you have escaped the noise if you're living on a quiet road. No? Yeah, I mean, Bramall Lane's been invaded completely, and it's yeah, it's the ones with cloths on their heads. Horrible area in Sheffield now. I mean, I must admit, I probably wouldn't now. I'm probably too nationalist now. But I did used to like Aberdale Road. And I used to like shawarma. And, you know, they were really friendly guys. Well, that's it, innit? They smile. Who was describing this so well? Oh, this Irish guy that I did a video with. You know, they smile, they take your money, and then that money never comes back into the community. It's only spent amongst themselves. And obviously no taxes paid on it. I like Sophie more and more with every single comment. Carry on. Oh, it's shit though, isn't it? Like, give yourself some self-love and see some sort of chiropractor or chiropodist, whatever it is. Get the calluses off, man. Look after your feet, man. Keeping it real 420. I spent years in Southeast Asia 25 years ago. I have been back to every country since, and the only one that resonates, the only one that resonates with me is Laos. I mean, Cambodia is wonderful, mate. Why not Cambodia? Like, I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'll get onto Laos in a minute. But you know, you can't tell me that you don't enjoy being in Siem Reap. Surely, I mean, it's just wonderful. However, I think that Laos will probably be my final destination in Southeast Asia before I move on to wherever I move on to, Eastern Europe, Georgia, something like that. Also the Mediterranean. Someone pointed out that the best lifestyle is without doubt in the Mediterranean in terms of food and quality of food and, you know, great people and intelligence, you know, intellect. Which, you know, being an Einstein myself, I very much like to be like. So yeah, I'm starting to think, like, is Cyprus in the Mediterranean? That's got good visas. Yeah, the options are endless. However, so Laos is the only one that I haven't, well, there's obviously a couple more, but the only one that I want to do, certainly the only one that I want to do out of seeing where I could live, you know, like, I'd like to see Japan, I'd like to see Taiwan. I'm not really interested in Malaysia. But I know I don't want to live, well, I'm almost certain I don't want to live in Japan or Taiwan. But, you know, I feel like Laos is a real possibility. Like, what's the population there? About 10 million? And they have a culture. So, you know, I would be the problem there rather than the one that's irritated. Yeah. I'm not going to leave Southeast Asia without going to Laos, but I think I'm going to be in the same route for quite a while. So, but I do think Laos is going to be the one. It's going to be the one. It's just nature in it and quiet. Of course, that's going to be the one. You know, I can already feel a love for Laos, and I went 20 years ago, but that doesn't mean anything. I went 2 days on my 2-week tour of Southeast Asia, where I did 4 countries in 2 weeks. Just mental. Hey, Spen, good to have you here. Hey, Rachel, how's the bank transfer going? Rachel, what is the problem? Like, it's so easy. Like, what is the problem? Right, so what you're going to find, Rachel, is the problem is you. You know, so for example, I spoke yesterday about all my technology problems. So I said all I needed was a wire, but it wasn't, because I did it before. I used the wire before many times and it didn't work. And then suddenly I had a shift in here, like a big shift. It was around you and Sophie, actually. It was when I did the retard dance and that huge shift I had. And suddenly the wire worked. And I did a video on it. There was a load of examples like that where suddenly things that had never worked for me just started working. And it was like the energy in me, the frustration in me was being reflected. Like, so, you know, maybe it genuinely does mess up every time for you because you're messed up. You know, and this is positive. Like, I'm not getting at you. I'm saying, like, you know, this is what happens as you start doing the work. It really does get reflected in your external. And it's not just you become more competent and confident and self-loving and all that, which is part of it, of course. There's actually something where, like I say with this wire, like I did more than I do now many times and it never works for me. And then suddenly it works. Right after I've had this huge letting go and like new spaces being created. Yeah, it's incredible. It's magical. Like there is an element of magic to it. Well, it seems like that for our conditioned mind. It's actually just total synchronicity and obvious and how it all works, but not when we're conditioned. So I'd like to hear, Rachel, what in your mind is the problem? Do you not know how to download an app? Do you not know how to click a button? Like, what is the problem? You download the app to your bank and it takes you through it step by step. I don't understand what the problem is. Even when I was a spasmong, I managed to do internet banking. I lived in Shottingham in the 90s. It was Yardie Central, yeah. Now, honestly, that was a golden age. Oh my God, yeah. It's so sad, isn't it? So sad. But yeah, like this, you know, I mean, I was in Sheffield, so it's fairly close, but you know, Nottingham was notoriously dangerous in the 90s, and now that's a golden age. Yeah, that's terrible. Spence in Newquay. Never so much, oh God. On my holidays in Newquay, never so much lovely diversity on the beaches. Is it just, I bet it's just overrun, isn't it? I bet there's litter everywhere. Oh God, it's disgusting. What have they done? What have they done to us? To be on a beach in England and be surrounded by bioweapons. Oh, and the noise. Oh God. Makes me sick. You're having a house, you're having a house party there, aren't you? Hello, Liz, welcome. Yeah, I'm really starting to realize, so this commenter, Spotty John, Potty John, apple cider vinegar is a miracle organic with the mother. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I just, you can just tell when you drink it. I was saying to that, Debbie was like, you drink it? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, as you get in tune with your body, like your body tells you what you want, and things that would taste awful to a conditioned, controlling, poisoning itself mind. You know, when you're in tune with your body, just to the level that I am, which is nothing. You know, like my body, I love the taste of apple cider vinegar, but when I was conditioned and repressed and trying to control my life, I wouldn't have done. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, apple cider vinegar has been in and out of my life for like, I don't know, 2 years now, but I'm really starting to see what a wonder thing it is. And you can, when you taste it, you can taste like, oh yeah, of course that kills parasites. Of course that's good for the body. Like it makes your body, it makes me shudder. Like when I drink the first shot of the day, I usually have about 3 shots. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't, yeah, I don't shudder, but I can feel the cells in my mouth like, ooh, shake, like alive, they come alive. Can we just note that it's 15 minutes and there's not been a single super chat, which is very demotivating for the YouTuber. No, there's lots of people in the chat. We just ban haters. And people like to contrive that, is that the right word? Twist that into, oh, you just don't like other people's opinion. No, haters is a thing. There are people who thrive on hate and live in hate and look to just hate. You know, I have no problem with somebody, you know, giving their opinion. We speak into it. If it's done in good faith, like, you know, this is my opinion, let's debate, or let's you know, speak into it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to like debate with somebody whether this was a good idea. Like, if we're still at those levels, then it's not what my channel's about. It's not what I'm here for. It's not what the chat's here for. And if they carried on like, but it was this, it was that, then yeah, okay, I'm going to block them because they're just boring. But this notion that I just block people because I'm defensive or fearful, like, no, it's honoring of self, it's honoring of a chat, it's honoring of the people that listen to me. It's creating a space for conscious, interesting people rather than retards. So I'm pretty sure you'll be one. But no, I mean, I don't block many people at all. Just those that need to be blocked. It's very clear. You know, it's like you wouldn't have shit in your house, would you? You wouldn't have shit people in your house. Well, you know, my YouTube channel is my home. Now, why am I going to have really awful people who have no motive other than hatred, and their only the only reason they have that ideology is because it's the ideology of hate. It allows you to hate. If you call someone a racist, then you can hate them. If you call someone a misogynist, then you can hate them. There's these state buzzwords where the state have gone, it's okay to hate people if you call them this first. It makes no sense and it's completely inverted. So you, my non-friend, can go and swizzle on that. Can we have a donation, please? I need some motivation. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in any pain with the noise anymore. It's wonderful. So yesterday I was out on my balcony listening to the noise of Cambodia, and just, oh, it's beautiful. So the difference here is they are playing music out of love, presumably as an offering to the divine, whatever that is for them, Buddha, I guess. And but yeah, it's a dedication and it's a love, whereas in Vietnam it's a complete ego attention seeking. So they're doing it with instruments, no stereos, no bass, beautiful instruments, and they are singing beautifully. Like, it's so different. It's so different. Twice, I've been here a week now, I think. Twice I have heard a beat for a couple of hours coming from some bar somewhere. But when it's for locals, the equivalent of what they were doing in Vietnam, I mean, you can't even compare it because this is spiritual. It's you know, it's dedication. Like they're singing to their God, and it's beautiful. And it's quiet isn't the word, but it hasn't got the bass, and there's no stereo because they're doing it authentically. Whereas in Vietnam, they're like, someone give me attention, all my family here, we're so good, yeah, you can hear us all, we're amazing. Horrible. You know, the more time I spend here, the more I realize, like, nah, it's not about the Vietnamese. Like, yeah, there's some good points, you know, I'm not saying they're terrible people or anything, but Cambodians are a million times better. A million times more enjoyable to be around, which means better. Let's not beat around the bush. So, thank you so much to whoever this is. Oh, Sophie. Oh, Sophie. My new favorite. Sophie is my one, has jumped right in to the top 10. She was like well on her way just with her comments. And now oh God, of course she's in the love vibration. Of course she can give. Oh my God, just compare this to the press, Sophie. It's so different. Sophie, I want to know more about you. I want to know how old you are, where you live, if you're happy to share these things. You are my friend. You're doing well, Tom. You have been consistent and worked very hard. Thank you. Yeah, I have. And I appreciate it's not working like a builder works. It's not grafting. I appreciate that. It's a different kind of work. The work here is, you know, one, consistency, and of course, there's always a learning and, you know, becoming a decent content creator. But the work is learning to not let demons bother you, haters bother you. Like, that will stop most people. Most, you know, I mean, God, like the psyop that was pulled on me. You know, like, I mean, it's mental. And okay, yeah, I was stupid for falling for it, but like, it's mental that there's even people who want to do that. You know, it's like, and so that's extreme. You know, like, I talk to other YouTubers and stuff, and they mention haters, and I'm like, you know, no, none of them have experienced what I've experienced, like extreme demonic behavior. But just the haters in the comments is a lot to deal with at first. Like, I don't feel like it is particularly now. Because you work the muscle and you know, you just realize, oh, right. I mean, it's an awakener as well. Like, you realize just how messed up the world is, because you're really having to face it and see it in people's comments. And like, yeah, you'll be like, well, I see comments as a non-YouTuber. I see comments. It's different when they're aimed at you. It's different when they're all on like your space, and they're all about you, especially when you share really authentically and vulnerably and honest. Like, well, authentic and honest is the same thing. And then people just shit on it. You know, it's not like you've created some slop and people shit on it that isn't really connected to you, other than the fact you created it. Like, when you're actually sharing yourself and your life and your deepest, darkest thoughts and your deepest vulnerabilities and the absolute edge of your life experience, you could call consciousness, and then someone just goes, "Oh, you're a narcissist." It's a lot. Thank you, Sophie. And thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. Well, before it uses us, use the technology now while you can. Oh, she's such a loving love. I love how you all know each other. It's so cool. Well, it's just a safety word, isn't it? So Krishna is laughing at my use of bioweapons. You know, you've got to, I mean, I think it's a good one. I'll be honest, it's not mine. I stole it off, and I think it's really good. I'm really surprised this guy has never been mentioned in my chat. I think he's really good. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that's a goth. You know who I mean? He has makeup on and he's all goth-like, which sounds, you'd be like, why on earth would you watch someone like that? And when I first saw him, I thought, you know, I'm not going to watch this guy. But he's really good. He's on external matters, the bioweapons. I mean, he's very well known. A lot of you will know who I mean. He's going viral. But for some reason, he never gets mentioned. No one ever mentions him in the chat or anything. And he's very aligned to certainly like Not Today Satan content. And he's way better than I was on Not Today Satan. Okay, so can you hear any wind? Can I turn the fan up? Is it good? Let me know, guys. Please do answer my question on that, because, you know, it would help a lot. Admittedly, you know, I'm not near the bottom of the chat, but, you know, eventually it will help. Okay, so the guy that's left the UK and is trusting himself and potentially something higher than him. I spent 2 years in Aberdeenshire before I left the country. I thought I could escape the tyranny of the UK by living remotely in Scotland, but you can't, so I bit the bullet and left. Really interesting share. I think this is helpful for people. Can you explain why you can't? What happened in a remote part of Scotland that made you realize there is no escape whilst in the UK? Wow. We've got some brave ones in the chat. Keeping It Real is about to do the same thing, selling up and effing off. Krishna's having an existential crisis today. Get your videos out now while we still can. I mean, yeah, I understand. It's not looking good, is it? But Yeah, I mean, if it's as bad as you're suggesting it's going to be, and it's that imminent, then there's no point in me putting any videos out, other than just, you know, what else am I going to do? Ooh, have I given some good advice? That's good. No, I don't want to live in a Muslim country. I just don't think it's wise. You know, like I say, there's so many demons and so many haters. Like somebody, I mean, it's just incredible. So on one of my recent English refugee videos, I'm hypothetically, jokingly, obviously, but, you know, serious in the moment. You know, I'm speaking into it seriously, but clearly I'm never going to do it. And even if I did, it would still be a ridiculous act. Talking about stamping on a dog's head, or maybe I even talk about smashing a window and getting in and stamping on a dog's head. I don't think I do, but maybe I do. That's the worst case, you know. But I think I might say I'm going to kick the door down and stamp on its head. The dog was barking. And someone's like, I'm going to report you to a Vietnamese police. You've just admitted your intention to break a door. So this is what I'm dealing with, you know. I'm dealing with utter demonic, self-hating retards. So, who are obviously live in extreme jealousy of a free-flowing YouTuber who can live wherever he wants in the world and create his own income. So, I don't think it's wise for me to go to Muslim countries. Like, if they contact, you know, I mean, there's nothing for them to contact them about anyway. But if they contact the Vietnamese, you know, there's no stupid, like, yeah, it's quite authoritarian out here, but there's no stupid laws around religion. Whereas Malaysia and Bali, it's like, if you say anything negative about a particular religion, but it's worded for all of them, but obviously they're only interested in one, 20 years. So I just don't think it's worth me going to Muslim countries, as long as I'm doing English refugee. If I wasn't doing English refugee, then I would consider it, because no one would know where I am anyway. And I am getting English refugee up to date. Within 4 weeks, it will be up to date. So, I really need to be aware of what countries I'm in, bearing in mind that there's a lot of jealous, demonic, hating plebs. Albus, the shower was the dog's what's-its. You were washing the dog's balls. Oh, it was the dog's bollocks. Had it on the lowest setting. I know nobody cares about my shower, but I'm sharing it all with you. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I kind of wish I hadn't read it out though. It was more for a chat. I'm very glad you had a nice, chilled, cold shower. So no one's given any thoughts on, you know, my questions around, is it a normal summer? Is it an abnormal summer? If it is an abnormal summer, why are they creating an abnormal summer? Does anyone like that instrument called harps? That was completely unrelated to anything else I mentioned. I just like harps and wondered if anyone else plays a harp. Probably. Am I right in thinking that Laos is pretty much run by the Chinese? Probably. So Burma is. Well, no, it's not. No one can run Burma. Like it's completely balkanized, and you know, and a perfect example of multiculturalism playing out. But they work with all the different, let's just call them tribes, fractions would be a better word, all the different fractions in Burma. And then at the end of the day, I mean, I don't believe it's China. I believe it's all one. So, you know, you're seeing America expand its, you know, Greenland, Mexico, Canada, the techno state, which obviously they're getting used to with the World Cup. And then the other one that the same people every time are using is China. They're investing in all countries, so basically taking over all countries. But really, I think it's just the same group using these two made-up countries that we think are real to, you know, create the one world government and one world state. So, of course, if you've got an impoverished country with very poor economics, very close to a country that the same people every time are using to spread their one state agenda, then yes, their tentacles are inevitably going to be all over it. However, what I can say is in what will be my lived experience there, I won't notice it. It won't matter to me. You know, this is the thing, like, you know, Vietnam is supposedly communist. I mean, I didn't see that, but you know, I think it's classed as a communist country. Yeah, it's very authoritarian, like yada yada, but not as a tourist. As long as you don't, you know, like properly break their laws, basically. Then it just doesn't matter to you. Like, you're not part of it. You're not. It doesn't matter which party is in control, or whether it's communist or capitalist, or, you know, I mean, if it really was communist, you wouldn't go. So that's my thought on that, Albus. Yes, but who cares? But obviously, bigger picture, like, yeah, that does mean something. As in what's being created. But it won't make any difference to me in this now moment. Cambodia in 1999 was chaos. Oh, right. So I think this is a guy that only resonates with Lao, having traveled all of Southeast Asia. Cambodia in 1999 was chaos. My vibration then was chaotic. Yeah, this guy knows. It's like when I ran a dog crash, which was, I remember my mentor at the time coming down to a dog crash to meet me, and him just being like, you know, it's 50 dogs in a building. It's fucking mental. And he just pointed out, he was like, you know, this is just reflecting your chaotic energy. Of course you run a fucking dog crash. And at the time I was thinking about selling it, and he was like, you know, I don't think he didn't say it as bluntly as this. It would have been much more whimsical, but he was basically saying, you know, if you don't want to live in chaos, you need to sell this fucking business. It's chaos. And you're here 40 hours a week. Of course you're going to be in fucking chaos. This guy gets it. Cambodia in 1999 was chaos. My vibration then was chaos. I loved it. There you go. I went back a few years ago with a better vibration, but the cost shocked me. Oh my God, it's so expensive. In the 90s, I was all in on a tenner a day. I am gobsmacked by how much more expensive Cambodia is to Vietnam. So rent is the first one. Rent is 20% more. Electricity is outrageously more, like potentially 4, 5, potentially 10 times more. I haven't paid a bill yet, but I know it's a lot more. And then products are, so now I'm shopping at the market. Honestly, if you want to buy coffee in a supermarket, or not a supermarket, in a shop, it's way more expensive in England because they're importing it all from England. It's mad. Why we don't import it from Vietnam, I don't know, but it must be some political thing. They wanted $20 for a bag of coffee. I couldn't believe it. Now I found the market, but even with the market, it's considerably more expensive in Vietnam. I'm going to say 25% more for all your groceries. Not what you'd expect at all, but I think it's because they can't produce anything. That's I'm assuming. I'm trying to work it out. It's very strange. I don't get it. But the conclusion I come to is they can't produce anything, so they have to import everything. Therefore, it's more expensive. Rachel, I don't want the app on my phone. Fear, 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 fear. I will log onto my laptop and try it there next week when I have been paid some. May need my daughter's help the first time, but hey ho, yeah, I mean, seek the help you need. But ask yourself why you don't want the app on your phone. And of course, there'll be some sort of stupid story. But basically, it's just the ego disempowering you. Like, just get the app on your phone. Stop being so repressed. Stop being so scared of life. Like, what the fuck do you think the app's going to do? Like, yes, everything you think is true, but you've got to do it. Like, it's you know, at the end of the day, right? Like, yes, everything's evil, but your reaction to it is fearful. You know, you don't beat it by letting it create so much fear in you. You can't take part in society. You can't have a proper life. And like, yeah, I can see your thinking. I understand the paradox, but like, I don't want to give the bastards anything. But we're way past, you know, they've got that in already. You know, like digital IDs is a hill worth dying on for sure. Internet banking is not. It's not serving you. It's disempowering you, and it's a story your ego makes up to make you feel empowered. You feel like you have some control by not doing this. You feel like that's you in control, but it's not. It's the ego controlling you. You've got to stop being so repressed, Rachel. You're severely repressed. So you've got to start leaning into things that scare you, to start, what's the opposite of repression? Openness, freedom. To start becoming more free and open. But she did mention lime juice. Krishna, apple cider vinegar, lime juice, and a splash of Angostura bitters. I don't know what that last one is, plus ginger. So is that as a drink, as a shot? Why are you adding the lime juice? Is that for health benefits or to make it more palatable? And all the other stuff? Because I love the taste of it. I have no problem with the taste of it at all. But that does sound like it was all very nice. Keeping it real, apple cider vinegar and organic red wine will get rid of nanotech caught on your tongue from the chemtrails. You just swill it for ages and then spit it out. You'll see the blobs come out. No way. No way. Can you tell us more about organic red wine, why that works, what you know about it? I've not heard that, but it sounds good to me. Especially the spitting it out part. I was worried I was going to have to drink it for a minute. I'm great. I'm doing great. There is a chance I'm a little bit too manic in terms of doing this lives at 3, 4 in the morning for me. But it's where I make my money. Not today. We've only had one, sadly. Even though I've sacrificed my sleep for it. But honestly, my videos aren't doing very well right now. English Refugee, I'm releasing 2 a day. So it's a lot, you know. I'm basically asking people to dedicate an hour and a half of their evening just to my English Refugee channel. And then I'm also live streaming. So they're doing okay, but they're not doing well. And then Tom Graceflex has just totally plummeted. You know, I thought my standard now was 1,500 views a video. And that was the case for 2 weeks. And then I changed my name to the Enlightened Arbor Fatards. And it just destroyed the channel. And it's not recovered. I think my latest videos are getting like 300 views. So that's like $1.50. It's useless. So I feel like I have to live stream, you know, and I enjoy it as well. And it's working so far, except tonight isn't working financially. Except for, thankfully, this young, wonderful person is trying, but nobody else is. So it feels very crucial, and this is obviously the best time of day to do it in terms of my audience. Also, like I say, I wouldn't, if this didn't work for me, if I was having to set alarms to do this, if I wasn't naturally waking up at this time and naturally falling asleep pretty early, so still getting my 5 or 6 hours sleep, then I would just stream at 6 p.m. my time and at 3 p.m. your time and just accept that it's not the ideal time. And, you know, when I did that, it was viable. I still got enough. I mean, to be honest, I don't get any more numbers doing it at this time. If anything, I'm getting less numbers. So actually, maybe I should just do it at 6 p.m. my time. Okay, I think somebody's sent some motivation. Oh, it's just, let me get this name right. Suspiria. Thank you, Suspiria. Suspiria had a lot of love to give in the last live stream as well. I really appreciate it. Oh, thanks, guys. This really helps. This really helps. Amazing. Very motivating. Thanks, guys. So, Suspiria and AV app bamming. No, he's donated. Let's try harder. App the banning. Fuck me, man. Can you change your name to something a bit easier, please? But thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. That's amazing. I think all people get to, so Sophie craves peace and quiet. I mean, again, your external is a reflection of your internal. So if you're calm inside, of course you want calmness outside. Or if you're starting to move towards calmness and peace, of course you want that reflected. And it will be, in my experience. As long as you're surrendered and following the signs, you'll get there. I mean, if you look at my, you know, the English refugee journey, it's so shown, like, and chaotic, and I get that wooden house, which ends up being a nightmare, and I'm still chaotic, and I end up in 2 fucking horrible flats, and then, you know, I start to become more peaceful, and I get the forest home, but I still have chaotic moments, and guess what? The forest home has chaotic moments too, and then I get the 5 days in Nambam, and my heart really opens, and then now I've got this really nice, quiet flat, except for some nice Buddhist chanting all day. Starts at 6 a.m. It's really nice. Now I'm pretty good. Got a car again, so I'm. Oh yeah, so this is chat to people. Yeah, no worries, Jamie. The last thing I want to do is make people feel bad for not donating. It's, you know, it's just an encouragement to those who feel they can and are in a giving energy, and understand that what you give, you receive, and everything is reflected. So, you know, this is nothing to do with my money, but just to give you a reflection. You know, your external reflects your internal. So if you're unable to give to yourself, forget me. Eventually, ultimately, you're not giving to yourself, and that's being reflected in your external as broke. And by giving to yourself, it's probably going to look like loving yourself, honoring yourself, not berating yourself, which is, you know, how we are conditioned to be. So I used to, you know, oh, Tom, you idiot. Oh, Tom, you know, like literally say it. I used to say it out loud when I did something wrong. And then I went through a period of noticing that and catching it. I couldn't stop because it was so ingrained. So I'd go, oh, Tom, you idiot. And then I'd have to say, no, Tom, you beautiful man. You know, and that went on for 2 years. And now I pretty much don't say it. Or the cider vinegar or organic red wine will get it out, and you will be able to see the nanotech blobs. This guy's a crazy conspiracy theorist. We're just reading it to ridicule these crazy far-right Nazis. Obviously, I don't agree with any of this. We'll get out, and you'll be able to see the nanotech blobs, which are normally transparent. Oh, wow. So the red wine like sort of turns them red, does it? So that's just your mouth. What about the rest? Does the nanotech just stay in your mouth, or presumably it gets absorbed, or, oh my God, what a world, as if we're having to have this conversation. But it's good that we are having it, bearing in mind we live in this world. And then there's this. I mean, there's just so much, isn't it? It's just so much. Thanks for your support, Jamie. Please do watch the videos and like them, because like I say, they're not doing well at the moment. Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to have to imagine. So Sheffield Uncut, imagine a day if BBC and ITV were top of the YouTube front page. I mean, it sounds like that's what's coming. I don't see why you can't just say not interested in this page and stop that. But also, that's not what's coming. Like, they're presenting it as this new bill to promote the BBC, basically. But that's not what they're going to do. They're going to stop people like me. Yeah, they're going to stop anyone that speaks against the state. You can have no neighbours, but you still have tax, council tax, being graped by the corporate machine, rip-off prices. I had isolation and peace, but you're still... Oh, right, yeah, so this is in reference to he went to Scotland to escape the bioweapons, but then realised that the UK isn't going to work. Yeah, absolutely. I had isolation and peace, but you're still ripped off at every move. Yeah, totally. You'll own nothing and be happy. Like, they're absolutely coming for you. There's no compassion whatsoever. They absolutely hate you. They want to eat and grape your children. It's pure evil. Yes, it's a one world agenda, but it seems like it's going to take a lot. I mean, they're nowhere near out here. Like, they haven't even got a welfare state. Now, it could be that they only need to work on the West, and then the rest of the world will just capitulate because it's, you know, they haven't got anything. So it could be that, you know, these countries not even fall into line, that are just told what to do, and it happens very fast. But if you're going by how they did it to the West, they're 200 years behind. So obviously that could be accelerated, but it would take at least 20, probably 50 years to get these people in the same level of enslavement that we're in. If it was done through the same tactics, but I don't know if they'd need to use those tactics, because I think, you know, if you say to people in Southeast Asia, you know, everyone get universal basic income, basically, everyone gets $500 a month, you just got to do X, Y, and Z. So many of them. I mean, it's NPC land. Like, there's no thought going on out here. So I think they'd just snap their hands off. There's no critical thinking. There's very little critical thinking. You know, because they don't need to. Like, well, that's not true. They've had a lot of shit in politics, let's say. But, you know, there's just no critical thinking out here. Like, you make of that what you will. I think they're all NPCs. But they are lovely. And I really enjoy living around them. But, you know, NPCism is strong here. Very strong. If not, you know, 100%. Did you discover the reason why your S25 won't connect to the DJI? I wonder if a Samsung film there. Well, it was all energetic. I've already spoken about it in this chat. It was a reflection of my internal and my frustration, and that was showing up in the technology, and it just wouldn't connect. And then the minute I had a huge shift, suddenly the wire that I'd always been trying to use suddenly started working. So I actually think it was all energetic. But if you're a pleb, then there's no problem with the firmware, and the wire now works. Yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, Bali is actually Hindu. So Ben says, good point about Bali and the country it's part of. Yeah, I mean, good that you say the country it's part of, because it is so different. Bali is Hindu, the rest of it is Muslim, and the difference is huge. Just huge. Like, Jakarta was awful, the people were awful. And you go to Bali and it's just like, ah. But officially, they are governed by Indonesia, which is Muslim. So it's just not worth the risk as a controversial, truth-speaking YouTuber. Yeah, because really, to a Westerner, the country is Bali. Like, the rest of Indonesia is irrelevant. And, you know, there's that island that begins with B, Borneo, or something like that, that borders with, half of it is Malaysian, half of it is Indonesian. I think that's quite nice. Borneo, I think it is. But like the mainland of Indonesia, I don't think there's any reason why anyone would ever go there as a Westerner. I massively regretted it. It was a terrible decision. And yeah, it's a Muslim country. It's not cool. Yeah, and I'm sure it would be fine. I'm sure it would be fine, but it's just not worth the risk. Like, it's not that much better. Like, it is really great. It is really great. I think I'd prefer Laos. I think I'd prefer Siem Reap. So why go, like, when I have places I even prefer? Like, you know, like, why would you live in a Muslim country? It just makes no sense. Oh, another one. Wow, this is getting really motivating now. What's that? Gifted 20 Tonga. I don't know what that means. Right, so the other day it came up on my YouTube studio saying enable gifts. So I was like, oh, more grifting. Of course, we'll enable more grifting. But so this is obviously a gift. This is my first ever gift. Thank you. So gifted 20 Tom Greater X memberships. What do you mean? So does that mean you've paid for 20 people to be members? That's incredible, if that's the case. And that would be about £60, I think. Please explain what you've done keeping it real, because I don't know, but it looks fucking great and is very exciting. That's incredible. I would love another 20 members. Now, presumably it's for 1 month. You're not going to pay for them forever. So it'd be very interesting to see how many of them keep it on. I would imagine a very low percentage, but wow, that's crazy. I don't know what to say because I've never seen it before, but thank you, obviously, is what to say. Can you tell me what that means? How much money you've spent? What it means? Wow, that's crazy. Well, my life's got a lot better. I haven't linked it to this. There's enough things I can link it to in terms of my life and how I live my life and why it is now like this. But it could be. I mean, my understanding is that when they turn off CERN, it's always been, I think they turned it off in 2007, 2014, and 2019. I can't remember what happened it was 2015 the London bomb? I don't know. It was something. But, obviously 2008 financial crash, 2020 was fairly big. So the pattern is they switch it off and the world goes to shit. And they've switched it off now until 2028, is it? Or is it until 2030? And all the evidence suggests, so you've got people like Neil Ward, what's he called? Neil something Ward? The Economist on YouTube, basically. So you've got people like him. So I'm classing him as like surface level, external, but very good at it. Right to like, prophets and Native American, prophet people. All saying that 2027 is the year. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean the year of awakening, or does it mean the year of intense evil? Well, I think it will probably mean both. Cheers, amigo. No, is this a recommendation? Have you heard of Mr. Astrotheology, Santos Banaki? Oh, maybe, yes. I think I have watched him before. And I think he was too much for me, but it was like 4 years ago. He was amazing. Let me get a photo of this. I want to watch this. I think, has he got sort of like a perm? And he's, I think feels like it was quite an old video. I mean, it could be someone completely different, but I do feel like this is the guy that was recommended to me ages ago, and it was too much for me at the time. So just watching some of my own content, early clicks, very important. So I think the answer is yes, and I think he's amazing, but I don't know him. Fantastic. Welcome to the chat, I'm not a flat earther. I just find it incredibly obvious that they lied to us about absolutely everything. Obviously, you can pull apart the spinning ball scientifically and logically and just using your senses. So I'm absolutely 100% that what they've told us is a lie. As for what the shape is, I'm not going to say it is anything. It seems, our experience, if you trust your senses, it definitely seems to be flat. There's a lot of evidence for the ice wall. There's a lot of evidence for extra terrain where the extraterrestrials come from. I mean, for me, it's just not even in doubt. Now, I think energetically, I think it is quite spherical, as in like the aura of it and the thyroids. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But it could also be thyroidal, but and I think all of it will be true. Like, I think from different perspectives, I think from like an external basic perspective, it is flat. But there's no point in me speaking into it. I think it's most likely to be flat. It's definitely not a spinning stupid ball. Thank you. Oh, we've got a lovely one in. So I've checked. It's no problem. Don't worry. I'm not. Well, who gives a fuck what you think? But yeah. So the people. So there's no one on that side, and the people next door to me are absolute NPCs. The woman has got septum piercings, blue hair. Like, so for an Asian, that's severe. Like, they haven't got the woke mind virus predominantly out here. So when you see that in one, it's like, whoa, this is a very bad Asian. Which also obviously means they're completely numb, desensitized, have no connection to self, anything. They're just like numbing out through life. So I have no respect for them. But I do, like, so I was outside chatting with Lee and they walked past, and it's so hard because Lee's so embracing of all. So like, he's like, hey, and like they start chatting and they're just not there. Like, they're just making noise. And you know, I can remember when I was like that, where you think you have to be social, where you think, you know, it's all about how do I look, and really you're just desperate to get out of a situation, but you come across this, it's just like, yeah, charismatic, noise, can't hear anything. What the noise you're making isn't related to anything, and you leave thinking, oh wow, I was dead entertaining then. Thank God I've gone. So they're in like they're proper unconscious. So I'm sat there having this cosmic conversation with Lee, and then suddenly we've just got two retards retarding. And I'm just looking at Lee like, why the fuck have you done that? But obviously Lee has a love for people for some reason. Anyway, so I tried to ask them 3 times, but they can't hear. They literally can't hear. They're just making noise so there's no silence. They're so scared of silence. So on the 3rd time, I finally get him to listen. I say, listen, you're my next door neighbor. I live stream at 3 a.m. I've been told that the walls are 2 walls, a double thickness. And I don't think it's a problem. But if it is a problem, please let me know and I'll go into the bedroom. And he just dismissed me. Like, he was just like, why are you even bringing this up? Like, of course it's not a problem. We're completely numb and desensitized and get shit-faced every night. Obviously he didn't say that, but that's the reality. So you can take your silly, hateful projections and stick them up your batty hole. What the hell is this? We want to get to the bottom of what this is. And how do people claim a membership? It's like, what's going on? Oh my God, it's so exciting. I've been kind. Ooh, that's nice. What did I do that was kind? So the only troll I've seen, and I wouldn't class it as trolling, I just think it's retardation, is that one that I just brought up, this one. Yeah, they're trying to be a troll, but you know, they can stay. I don't care. It's funny. I'm still blocked on the other channel. So which channel are you? You know, you can't just, you need to be more specific. I'll take a photo when you're more specific and do something about it. So which channel are you blocked on? Because you could be commenting. I just see YouTube comments. I don't see which channel you're commenting on, and I'm live on both my channels. Yeah, I guess they are, but you know, bless them. Let's just take the piss out of them. And if they get really reactionary, then we'll block them. But you know, we can have some fun with them first. The whole of the UK, apart from, is about to stop paying council tax due to small, I'm guessing what he's written, due to small, oh no, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense. I can't read something that doesn't make sense. Which people? So this person is now a member. So is this one of the 20 members? This is amazing. This is so cool. So does he choose who they are? Or like, how does it work? He's made all these people members for a month. Which people? So I can see, I don't recognize this name as a member. So and suddenly he's up in green. So presumably that's somebody who's made a member. But who, like, how does it work? Does he choose who it is? Do people click on it? Like, how does it work? So Herman the Tosser, great name. How did you become a member? And that is the economist I was talking about, Neil McCoy Ward. Thank you. Very good if you're interested in economics. And yeah, I mean, you know, he holds back. He values his channel more than truth, but he does a good job at sharing the truth to say what a big channel he has, and understandably he wants to protect that. Yeah, he's. I don't really watch him too much anymore because I'm just not really interested in the external. But I would recommend him as a good external speaker. Herman, right, we've got another one. Can you answer? Thank you for the membership. Oh my God, this is mental. So did you choose to be a member, or did he make you a member? Oh my God. I said that must be, you know, that must have cost a bit of money. Presumably it's the low tier, but I think that's still $2.99. So that's £60. That's a lot. Thank you. Keeping it real. It was you, wasn't it? Let me check. Yes, it was Keeping It Real. It's done this very kind, interesting gesture. Wow. So the 20 members now get early release content, and they get their name in green, so they get brought up more like this. Mental Pancakes, what a great name that is thank you for the membership. Why didn't this one get a membership? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, why, like, how did you choose who got the memberships? How does that all work? Taiwan's interesting, isn't it? I think Taiwan is potentially quite underrated. Now, there's the fact that it's about to be invaded by China at any minute, which is a bit concerning. But I think you'd see that building up and be able to get out in time. So I didn't realize it's a little while since I've done the researching. I didn't realize like how much natural beauty there is there. But I just feel like I'd be bored. Like, you know, what's so amazing about, I mean, the people are amazing, the slowness of the city, I assume it's a city, city, is amazing. But really it's the expats. Like there's a special expat here. You know, there's a very enlightened expat here. But you just, you know, expats in general are very hedonistic and very boring. Also not true, because they're obviously very, you know, just to become an expat, you need to be a certain level of interesting. But yeah, there's definitely a very conscious community. And I don't mean like people like Love and Light fucking tossers, like Pi thinks it's conscious, but it's just a liberal shit show. No, Say and Reap is conscious. Very conscious. Like, you know, I mean, just the fact that you'll meet today on Tom Greatorex, Michael. I mean, just the fact that Lee and Michael are here, like, I've never experienced that before in my life. Well, no, of course not. I've never been around such enlightened people in my life. But that's obviously a reflection of my journey. But just the fact that those two men are both in Say and Reap, and they speak of many others. Like, there's a real conscious community here. There's definitely not going to be a conscious community in Taiwan. I mean, the Taiwanese are going to be very unconscious. And no, but it's never about the locals in terms of consciousness, because it is, you know, it is NPC land. There's no two ways about it. It's about the expats. I can't even imagine there are any expats in Taiwan, and if there are, I imagine they're very boring ones. But I don't know. You know, this is the thing. You'll never know until you experience it. But there's no way that, you know, there's no way I would enjoy being in Taiwan or Japan more than I'm enjoying being in Say and Reap, because there's not going to be these people here. However, I do think it would be really good for YouTube. I do think, you know, my ego definitely wants to tick off as many countries as possible. Hey, Debbie, good to have you with us. I want to experience it, but, you know, I'm not going to Taiwan thinking, am I going to live in Taiwan? You know, I'm thinking like 3 months max. And kind of the same with Japan. Now with Japan, I appreciate there's a chance that I could get there and just be like, oh, I love it. I could definitely live here. And, you know, of course, there's also that chance with Taiwan. Like I say, you don't know until you do it. I'm typing on English refugee. Okay, so you're banned from Tom Greatorex. All right, I'll try and remember to do something about that, mate. Sorry about that. I don't know why you're banned. You seem absolutely fine. Right, so This is in regards to how the 23 memberships worked. People have to, oh, right, so the box that I put on the screen, people press that, do they? People have to press the box to be able to accept or something like that. Okay, so we're getting a bit closer. It's a random selection. It's random selection, Tom, the gifts. Right. So somebody who's on for the first time could get it, and then Wickham Ways doesn't. He was being supported for 2 years. That's not cool. Right, Herman is one of the very lucky people who has got a membership, which basically means he might get a few videos a day early. So it's, I'd like it to mean more, but it does mean that I notice you and bring up your comments more as well. Gifted memberships are potluck. Anyone who has visited your live chats are chosen at random. Okay, I think we have the answer. Thank you, Herman. How do you feel about being chosen? Do you feel super honored to be my member? Are you going to have a great big celebratory wank? Let us know how you feel. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. I think we've worked it out. Oh, in my humble opinion, I believe Neil McCoy Ward is a bit of a shill. Not sure, but he does stoke the fire on non-issues, divide and conquer stuff. You know, I mean, I'm open to the possibility of, you know, it does always turn out that everyone is a shill at a certain level. I don't think Neil McCoy Ward is on that level where you would automatically assume he is. So he's a YouTuber, don't forget. So certain things work on YouTube, and, you know, that is fear, stoking up, you know. So my most successful channel, Not Today Satan, 40,000 subs, very much based on division. And that's not me trying to divide people. That's me playing into the agenda through my naivety and ego wanting to have a YouTube channel. So speaking into issues that ultimately do play into the agenda's hands, which is division, which is for bioweapons. Of course, I want all that speaking about. I didn't realize that at the time when I first started, but I think I knew that for the last 3 months of me doing it. And it works. So, you know, you've got to balance this out with the people who work a job, who totally sell their soul and are completely enslaved and empowering the system. You know, at least he's stepping out of that. At least he's creating his own income. At least he's offering courses for people that help them create their own income. So, you know, you've got to, I think, you've got to give people a bit of leeway on this, because at the end of the day, everyone is trying to survive. And no more so than the office worker. Like, the office worker is the biggest traitor. So don't judge someone like Neil McCoy Ward if you work a job, unless it's a tradesman or something proper that's actually needed. You know, if you push bits of paper around an office, then you can't be judging Neil McCoy Ward for anything. So the word shill is strong. To me, that's suggesting that he's paid to do certain things. I don't think that's the case. I think he isn't that conscious. I think he's very intelligent. I don't think he's very conscious. I think he's only just worked out, but it's all by design. I think he said this very recently himself, that he thought they were just incompetent, and now he's realized it's all by design. Like, I think that's in the last 6 months, maybe 12 months. So I think he's a real guy doing his best, but also is a very keen YouTuber, very about the numbers, which there's nothing wrong in, you know. Obviously, there's higher levels of consciousness you can get to where you're not, but he's not there. So, you know, you can't judge him other than for where he's at. And he's a very good YouTuber. He's learned the game. And of course, he's going to, I mean, really, he doesn't. You know, compared to me on Not Today Satan or Dino Bain or any of these guys, he doesn't really talk about any of that stuff. He's much more about the economics and terrible government decisions. So I disagree, and I wonder if it's the projection of the office worker. But that last bit could be a bit too much, but I definitely disagree. Keeping it real. Tom, I am a technophobe. I thought I would throw some cash your way. I spend my day with I bet he didn't even know. He just thought he was donating. He didn't know he was creating 20 memberships. Sort of thing I'd do. I spend my day with the swallows. Oh, beautiful. Isn't it interesting how the people that donate are always the ones that have the most beautiful lives? Have you noticed that? Do you think there's any correlation there? Do you think maybe their internal and external are related? Or do you think they just got lucky and, yeah, it's obvious, isn't it? Look at the people who donate. Always the most beautiful people with really beautiful lives. Look at the ones that don't, the office workers. Tom, I am a technophobe. I thought I would throw some cash your way. I spend my day with the swallows, the siskins, the golden eagles, and the deer. Oh, I have lost touch with reality and it feels awesome. Keeping it real. Huge respect, huge respect. Good on you for creating that life. Nothing's a coincidence. No such thing as luck. That is created. What a beautiful man, I'm assuming. I really appreciate you keeping it real. I really appreciate the donation and I really appreciate you. And I'm really happy to have you in the chat. You're a great contributor. Thank you. Thank you for being all that you are and thank you for all the work that it took to get there. Yes, that's right. When someone gives memberships, YouTube allocates them to people who are subscribed to the channel. It's basically potluck. How are you so educated, Albus, on YouTube? Spiritual Warrior is in the house, a regular donator. Big shout out to Spiritual Warrior. Lots of love. Oh God, why are we talking about him again? I do love that nickname. It is very funny. It is very funny. Oh yeah, so I haven't checked. He can't have banned you last night. He's not still a moderator, obviously, after that shit show. I haven't checked my memberships to see if Konig and Shitgrifter cancelled. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. We'll look together so you can see my reaction. So let's add something to stage. Oops, no, that's, how do I remove that previous one? Stop screen, add, share screen, channel dashboard, share. And then for some reason it takes me to my channel dashboard, which is stupid because I haven't done that yet. So that's ridiculous. That's a very silly thing, Mr. Right, okay, so we're Mr. StreamYard. Right, so we're looking at my memberships. Have Konig and Grid Shifters quit? So Grid Shifters is still there. Wow, big respect, man. Big. Oh my God, Konig's still there. Wow, I did not expect that. I did not expect that. These are my wonderful members on English Refugee. Thank you to all of these wonderful people. Sophie joined the party 3 days ago. We're loving Sophie. She's so much fun. RPM is a member of both my channels. I'm yet to meet this wonderful person in a live stream. Looking forward to it. All right, thanks guys. Wow, I'm amazed that Grid Shifters and Konig are still there. That says a lot about them. Okay, how do I get back to here? And I remove that and then hello. Cool. That's a nice surprise. And the best part of it, it means I don't have to edit my little thank you thing. Yeah, he came back last night and got triggered again. So that's why I did expect. So yeah, I expected him to cancel, but you know, he's obviously better than that. So I think this means the guy keeping it real who bought 20 memberships, I refused my own membership. What an idiot and proud. So does that mean you didn't take one of the 20 memberships? And you're proud of your idiocy? You're like, yeah, it's good to be able to laugh at ourselves and love the idiotic parts of ourselves because there's many in all of us. A good one got a membership here, Herman Matosser. I mean, yeah, so I said, are you going to have a celebratory toss? And I didn't even relate that to his name. Maybe I did subconsciously. I might polish the one. Do it justice, Tom. It's a good one. Might polish for one tonight due to the membership. See, look at all the love you've spread. You've literally spread a splurge of Herman's love, keeping it real. It is a funny renaming. Whilst I don't condone bullying of my members. But, you know, sometimes it's not bullying and it's just a needed reflection. And I think in this case, it may well be that. Oh, Rachel, honestly, if you can't do a bank transfer, then I don't think we can cope with trying to get you to be a Patreon member. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You just can't. Your story is that you can't, and therefore you can't. I mean, are you able to use a card, a bank card? Is that in your realm? Can your carer do it for you? I don't know. I would imagine if you clicked on become a member at the bottom of this screen, it would ask you for your card details. But I don't know how it charges you. It might ask for a bank transfer, in which case you're screwed. But I imagine there's a card paying option, so you could try that. I imagine it's the same on Patreon. So you'd go to patreon.com. That's on this thing called the internet, Rachel. And you type into that bar up there where it says HTTPS. And yes, it is made by evil people, but, you know, sometimes you have to use their tools against them. So you go on patreon.com/TomGreaterX, or you just click on the link, not below this video, because it's a live stream, but below any of my videos, but you won't be able to find that. So patreon.com/TomGreaterX. It could be Tom_GreaterX. I think it's just Tom GreaterX. And then you would click on that page, and somewhere on there it's going to say become a member. And hopefully it will let you just do it with a bank card, because obviously it's very complicated to do internet banking. I appreciate your endeavors, Rachel. I appreciate your heart. I appreciate the love you emanate. But my God, you're repressed. Oh dear, what? Oh dear. So how much did the memberships cost you? Keeping it real, if you don't mind sharing. I'm interested. You know, it's new. I mean, if you're paying full price, I think that was a £60 donation. But I don't know if there's some sort of, you know, you get it a bit cheaper when you buy 20 memberships or something. I don't know. I found out many upcoming laws for him, so I don't think he is. But hey, I don't know anything about him other than his channel. Oh, so this is obviously Neil McCoy Ward. Upcoming laws from him. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a hard one because the shills do give a lot of good information, and that's, you know, how they shill. Now, I didn't see his journey. Like, how fast did he blow up? That's always a good way of knowing. Like, did it take him 10 years to get serious subscribers like it should do, or at least 5 years? Or did he get to 100,000 in 6 months? That will probably answer the question. I've never watched him with any concern at all. I've never felt any. I don't think he's good enough to be a shill. I think he's too of the mainstream. And by good enough isn't the right term, because he's very good at what he does. He's not conscious enough to be a shill. He's not speaking into anything that matters enough. Rachel, I work with people to prevent them from becoming homeless. Honestly, if people are relying on you, then no, I'm only joking. I can see you'd be very good at that, because you definitely have a big heart. She works with people to stop them becoming helpless, helping folk who are helpless to find a home. Some office work, paper liaising with the council and other agencies, but minimal. Yeah, so I mean, absolutely, you're going to be very repressed in that, because you're working for a liberal, indoctrinated state. So you have to pretend that you're like pro-immigration and all that. If you speak your mind, you've lost that job straight away. So it's intense slavery, but there is purpose in it. There is, some good in it. But in terms of the person you have to be to work in that industry, very repressive. which shows in your whole aura and demeanor and way of being, which isn't the real you, Rachel. You know, this is the conditioned you. You are fantastic, but there's a lot of layers between you and your absolute fantasticism. But even with all those layers that I call repression, you're still pretty fantastic. All right, he's going to go and stroke the one. See you later, mate. Welcome to the membership. Please keep it going once it ends. Okay, so we've done 2 hours. So I'm going to do another 15 minutes. I think to do much longer than that, I would need a motivating donation. Keeping it real. Tom, it's your noise journey that resonates with me. I have suffered like you, that suffocating feeling, all-encompassing emotion of not feeling free to express yourself and just be. Yeah, absolutely. It's, I mean, the last bit of that, I'm not sure quite how that relates to the noise. I mean, it definitely, so not feeling free and just being. Okay. Yeah, it's to express yourself. Like that doesn't quite resonate with me. So for me, the problem with a noise is the last 3 words, and just be. It takes me out of any sense of being. It takes me out of any sense of slowness, out of any sense of surrender. Suddenly it puts me in control. Suddenly I'm making noise myself to block out their noise. You know, when, like, so basically I'm in a place now where I spend a lot of my day, often with a video on, but, you know, it's getting, you know, it's definitely, at least every day now, I probably do an hour with no video on, where I just lie and breathe. You know, I guess many people would call it meditation, but I don't like to use that word because that suggests that I'm going off somewhere or having some divine experience. Absolutely not. I'm just learning to be at peace with myself. And I appreciate the people who come into the comments who only see things in a dualistic black and white sense and project perfection onto even somebody trying to awaken. They project like you should be a perfect enlightened guru straight away because it's one or the other and there's no journey in between. You know, I appreciate, even though they're retarded, you know, they are right when they say a true Zen master would be able to be in peace around noise. But I'm not claiming to be a true Zen master. I'm claiming to be able to spend an hour lying in my bed, breathing and not hating myself. You know, that's as far as I've got. So when there's external noise, it makes that impossible. Because for me, at my stage, because to get to that place, I have to have, I suppose, a control, it's kind of contradictory, a controlled enough environment to know that I can let go and I can surrender and I can be. The minute there's an external noise, and I don't mean Kenmar beautiful chanting, I mean like low vibrational human banging or machinery or something like that. Or Vietnamese low vibrational music, because it's just fucking demonic and totally of the ego. Totally look at me energy, whereas this music is so different. It's like giving, whereas Vietnamese is this. And taking. So the minute I know there's a possibility of external low vibrational loud noises, I can't let go. I then go into the mind and into the control, into the ego of like, there's going to be another noise, there's going to be another noise. Oh my God, you need to do this to counteract the noise, which is, you know, obviously a YouTube video or something. And it got to a point in the flat where, you know, a YouTube video wasn't enough. I needed YouTube on the TV, and this is in that horrible concrete bunker where I ended up smashing the chair. Did you see the comment on that the hater left? Saying that I threatened her children. I didn't even smash the chair. I just banged the chair on the ceiling. You know, I exaggerated that for the YouTube thumbnail. Apparently that's me threatening her children. I mean, the way they twist things is just outrageous. No dedication to any sort of truth or reality or... but Or that, just that. You know, just they'll twist everything and then argue with you till they're blue in the face, but you're wrong. When they've twisted everything. It gets to the point where someone like, have you seen Jim Dandy now? Jim Dandy hangs around with the haters. Like he comments on all the haters, like the lowest vibrating, truth twisting people. This man claims to be enlightened, and he's now hate watching. His last comment was, well, all about me being a narcissist. And then I love how this has become a hate watch channel, and he's claiming to be enlightened. It's like you're hate watching and you're communicating through hatred and you're commenting on all the haters' posts, and you think you're enlightened? You think that's the behavior of an enlightened person? You think an enlightened person hate watches? Now, obviously, you don't watch stuff you hate if you're enlightened. What are you talking about? It's just so amazing watching him just be completely, you know, projection is the most amazing thing, because they literally accuse you of what they are. It's amazing. Fascinating, but also incredibly boring. But yes, of course, anyone who's living your sort of life has your level of consciousness is going to have been on this noise journey. What on earth could Rachel help you with? What? This is Rachel who can't do internet banking, Debbie. What's Rachel going to help you with? She is really nice. Maybe you could be friends, but I don't think she's going to be able to help you. And maybe I've missed something. That sounds severe, but I've missed the first part. So X to tech slots was, I know that's not right, but I'm not going to try any harder because it's just fucking, you know, you can't expect YouTubers to read out names like that. I was kept awake pretty much 6 weeks, one hospitalized for 3 weeks. I think I've missed the first part. Okay, I've got to the bottom of the chat. So I think it's over unless there's a load more chats coming in, or if some money comes in, I'll try and riff. But yeah, I think we're done. If some money comes in, I will go on for another half hour, no matter what, whether we get chats or not. We'll give it 2 more minutes. If anyone did that to me, now I have DJ rig set up in my front room set for, yeah, I'm too tired. Let's end this. Let's just read one more from this. Yes, I assumed it would be something to do with that. So Rachel does help with homelessness, but you know, from a very repressed position through the council, so she will have no say or no ability to actually do anything, and it will only be helping brown people, obviously. Not quite true, but you know, it will certainly be going that way. Oh, Debbie wants to keep going. All right, we'll keep going. So Rachel, the person is literally on the screen. The person has @signed you, directly messaged you in the comments. The person is now on the screen, but Rachel doesn't know who it is. And Debbie thinks this person can help her. It's a bit disempowered, Debbie. Yeah, if you're relying on people like this for help, then you don't trust yourself. Yourself. Who wants my help is not showing up in the comments. This one has expressed a slight interest in your potential help. But, well, I'll be very interested to hear how it goes. Okay, yeah, so I can see why you're asking. I feel like it's your personal stuff. I'm not going to speak into it. I'll leave it to you. Oh my God. Yes, it's Debbie, the moderator. No, I don't just help brown people. Hopefully she can help you, Debbie, being a white British. But I bet you do have to help a lot of brown people. And I bet it's getting more and more. How does that feel, Rachel, when you have to help a brown person? Does it make you sick in your mouth, or are you still conditioned enough to just be like, oh, everyone deserves help, even if they're raping our children? Keeping it real. Tom, I love you. Thank you for my spirits for being authentic. Right back at you, brother. Right back at you. I feel it in you. Thank you. We all need to show up for each other as authentic, real, enlightened. Well, enlightened is a bit strong. On the awakening journey, beings. Really important we support each other. You've been a great example of that tonight. I hope I support you through my words and showmanship. Okay, so Debbie put a tenner in. So I guess, well, definitely very grateful. We're going to do at least another half hour once I've made my coffee. So let's say we'll do till 2 hours 40. I'm just going to make another coffee. And I might do a poo. I did a poo before the live stream, and it was 40% solid. So I think if I do a poo now after 2 coffees, and it's the second poo of the day, so it's always a bit more sloppy, I think we'll probably go down to 25 to 30% solid. I'll let you know. So I'm going to try the coffee mix with this one. We're going to do 75% chocolate coffee and 25% ass coffee. Oh, it's night sky time. It's beautiful sky time. Hello, beautiful sky. Oh, beautiful sky. Let in that beautiful light that lights up my heart. Hello, beautifulness. Okay, if you don't want to hear shit spatter, cover your ears now. Oh, so funny. Oh, splatter, splatter, splatter. It's more like plop, plop, plop. Lots of little half-solid plops. Probably about 50% solid, actually. It's better than I expected. But it's nothing like a big log. Nowhere near as satisfying as a big log. Oh, shit. I haven't even poured the cunt. So, no one ever answered my question on wind noise. Now, this is a much worse angle. So, I really need to know right now if you can hear wind or whether this little fluffy thing is working. So, I'm not going to say anything until somebody just got put off by Debbie's Love Island comment. I'm not going to say anything until somebody answers this question. Can you hear wind noise now, or is it just like it was before? Is everyone retarded? That sounds good. So you can't even hear an underlying slight wind noise, because I don't want that. I will change my position. If you can even hear an underlying slight wind noise. Sounds great. So, first time I ever used a fluffing fluffer, and it's obviously works. It's amazing, isn't it? I've had it fucking... Stephen bought it me. I've had it so long and I've never used it. Well, you know, I like the intimacy. I like taking you to poo with me. I suppose there's the egoic worry that people aren't going to stay and sit out for 5 minutes. So I guess it's for the showman wanting to keep you all entertained. Oh, there's going to be so many. Debbie's asking about natural remedies to get the shit out of her shit pipes. So constipation, you know, is obviously constriction, is contortion, is like, you know, the energetically and physically the body is like this through you know, survival. If you're constipated, then you're not letting go, quite literally. So, oh no, but it's better like that, isn't it? I'd rather be at the side and have more sky. God, there's got to be so many natural things that get you shitting. I mean, what about a curry? Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be loads of people in the chat that can help you with that. Let's get Debbie shitting, everyone. What does Debbie need to eat that's obviously natural that will get her going? I'm sure I know one. I've never, you know, my issue is the other way around, so I've never had to even consider this. Are you talking about Rachel's employers? Yes. No. Talking of shit, to catch up on Love Island, not a bad life. Need to catch up on Love Island. Wow. Suspiria, I'm amazed. So, you know, obviously I just assumed you were conscious if you're on here and contributing, and your profile picture is pretty cosmic. When did I last watch? Okay, so I have my guilty pleasures. Now, it's only when I'm in the void, only when I'm smoking heavily. and I'm feeling really down. But my lowest consciousness consumption is very similar. It's on a similar level. What's it called? 90 Day Fiancé. Oh my God, that show. I mean, obviously it's all fake and made up, but oh my God. If there's an element of truth in it, like if the people are actually, like, okay, it's all staged, I know that. But, you know, I'd like to think that the people are actually real and, you know, they do actually meet these people with the intention of falling in love. It's so funny. So it's always Americans. So it's an American and a foreign person. And they get them over on a 90-day visa, and the reason they're allowed to do that is because it's, you know, with the intention of marriage. So before they've even met this person, or they might go out and meet them, like some, you know, they're all a bit different. But, you know, basically it's just the most desperate of desperate people, like the biggest co-addictors, the biggest love addicts on the planet, thinking they're falling in love with someone over a screen. And usually a person doesn't even fucking talk to them. So anyway. And then they bring them to America for 3 months with a wedding booked at the end of those 3 months. And obviously it just always goes to shit because it's two broken people that hate themselves. And it's just incredible. I mean, it's just incredible. For me, that's the best trash TV I've ever seen. Now, it's a long time. When did I last resort to it? I think it was in Bali. I think in Bali I watched some. But it is fantastic. It's fantastically bad. And Love Island's the same. Like, if you watch it knowing what it is, I can't quite bring myself to say it's all right, because it's utter trash. But if it's like your bit of trash amongst, you know, meditation and self-love practices and, you know, doing work, essentially, self-observation, then great. And I imagine it is for why do I struggle with your name so much? If you hadn't donated, I would just, you know, spaz-tard it, but I actually want to get it right because you're such a contributor. Suspiria. I imagine that's what it is for Suspiria. Right, we all need a bit of escapism, you know. I like to smoke and wank. So, you know, maybe Suspiria doesn't do any of that and literally just watches Love Island, you know. So who am I to criticize? But I am surprised. I am surprised. But I also really respect you for admitting it in this chat, because obviously there's going to be judgments in this chat over someone who watches Love Island. So I think the fact that you just bosh that in the chat actually says more about you than the fact that you watch Love Island, and is very positive. So am I competing with Love Island right now? Surely Love Island's not, I mean, for you now it's, what, 11:30. Surely Love Island is more prime time than that. Is that for Debbie's asshole? Debbie would like to know the same. That doesn't sound right to me. Like, what's in the sweets? You know, the only reason that's going to get her going is because they're just full of crap, even if they're sugar-free. And, you know, sweets are made out of bones, aren't they? I mean, it's just disgusting. And if they're not made out of bones, then they're, you know, they're vegan versions, and they're just full of chemicals. So I don't think that's a very good recommendation. But I could be missing something. There could be some specific ingredient in the said sweets, but I don't think so. I think that's bad advice. As in, you don't hear anything negative. I mean, hopefully you can hear something, otherwise it's even worse. But yeah, so obviously Tom's diet. That's an interesting one, because I don't think obviously diet's going to be an element, but I don't think it is diet related. I think it's energy and purging related. Like I've had ass waterfalls, what some might call IBS, but for me it's ass purging basically all my life. And there's been brief, and by brief I mean maximum few days, periods of solid logs. Now, recently, it was very clear that, you know, I was going through this big expansion, and therefore, obviously, purging is obviously going to be part of that, releasing. And so my ass turned to water, and then it went solid. Like it was, you know, it was so clear in terms of, you know, the process I was going through. But then for it to go back to being, I mean, you know, I'm sure of the fact that I start my day with 4 coffees. I mean, yeah. What about coffee, Debbie? Do you drink coffee? Like, if you're drinking coffee and you're so constipated, like, what the fuck, man? You must be so constricted. I mean, really, Debbie, I think you should try and connect with your a-hole in meditation or in stillness. Forget meditation. You know, ask your, you know, when you're breathing, when you're practicing your breathing, and I imagine lying down would be good for this. You know, try and feel your asshole. You could get to, you know, what would be really nice is to sort of open up a dialogue with it, but I don't think you're ready for that. Like literally just, can I feel my asshole? You know, right, so let's use an easier example, your jaw. So when I go to bed every night, I ask myself, how tight is my jaw? And it's often like this. And then I start breathing and open the jaw. And then I start focusing on my stomach and expanding the breaths down there. No, so basically I do that first and realize, oh no, there's something constricted. Oh, what's your jaw like? Oh, right, yeah, it's like this. Oh, okay, let's open that. And then the breathing really can start. So that's quite obvious, you know, that's quite, you know, it's very obvious when your jaw's like this, and I imagine it's always like this. Mine certainly was before I became conscious of it. Well, do the same for your asshole. How's my asshole right now? Okay, can we relax the asshole? And your stuff might come up, unfelt emotions, because your asshole has literally been grabbing onto the emotion, so you don't feel it. Or your brain has been making your asshole do that, and your brain is basically the ego. Try and connect with your asshole. You shouldn't really need to take any natural remedies. You should just connect with your asshole and ask it why it's such a tight arse and what it needs from you to not be so tight and scared. But also, you know, I appreciate that that's a journey and it takes time, and you probably want to shit before that. So I find this hilarious. I just can't get, you know, it's just so opposite to my life experience. So yeah, I think some natural remedies would be great if anyone can recommend them. But also, really, what you need to do is connect with your asshole. Great, thanks for clearing that up, Alex. Really appreciate it. It was a bit. Oh yeah, beetroot's wonderful, and so yeah, it probably is good for your ass, but it's just wonderful in general. I love that it makes your poos purple. I just love that. And I have a feeling, it's obviously it's hard for me to say because my ass is always watery, but yeah, I have a feeling that beetroot gets your ass moving. And it's root, isn't it? Rooted, root chakra. This is all root chakra stuff. This is root chakra blockages. So beetroot feels like quite a good suggestion to me. AI said pears. I mean, AI is full of such shit. X tech slots, 90% cacao chocolate, strong real coffee. That sounds like really good advice to me. Yeah, we haven't talked about cacao, Debbie. In terms of what we're speaking about, in terms of your self-love journey, heart opening, really can pitch you in the bath with a good cup of cacao, proper cacao, ceremonial grade chocolate. There's a really good one, what's it called? She's amazing. She gets it from a tribe that only the females collect it, and as they collect it, they're singing to it. So, oh God, this is what you need. It's like got all this feminine, beautiful energy in it. Oh, what was it called? I used to sell it. There's a really good band. I'm going to find out what it is for you. And I'm going to encourage you to buy some and make it part of your bath. bath ceremony, because cacao scientifically opens the heart. There's something like bromide or bromine. It expands your heart by 40%, and obviously this is scientifically, so it pumps 40% more blood. But you know, what about the energetic side of that? So it's a very beautiful. It's a really healthy drink, full of magnesium, full of all sorts of goodness. It opens the heart, and it might open your asshole. Coffee is an obvious one. Maybe coffee, I'll try. I have a Tassimo coffee pod. It gets in there, no good. Yeah, I mean, they're like this big, right? These pods, you know. Make yourself a filter coffee. You know, get one of those machines where you push it down. They're cheap and they're good. So when I make this coffee, I pour that much coffee into it. And it's probably like 3 shots, something crazy. And if that doesn't get you shitting, then you might as well just jump off the bridge. Obviously, I don't mean that. But what I mean is, I'd be amazed if you drink a rocket coffee, a strong homemade filter coffee. I'd be amazed if you aren't shitting. Oh, Debbie used to watch 90 Day Fiance. Oh, it's such trash, isn't it? So like I say, I only go to it when I'm in the void, and when I'm in the like, I am going to end myself part of the void. Like absolute giving up, feeling like it's never going to end, not even able to see it as a void. I've gone to the story of like, oh no, this is it, it's over, it's hopeless. There's no coming back from this. Which is obviously, it's always darkest before the dawn. That's always right before the breakthrough. Might last for 3 days max, usually 1 or 2. Watching Love Island, yeah. And then Peep Show's another one that I watch in the void, which is much better. I would actually recommend that as just normal viewing. I think it's the only thing on TV that's ever been aired that's worth watching. But yeah, when I go into the void, I start off with Peep Show, and then when that's not numbing enough, I move to 90 Day Fiance. This sounds good. Moong, dal, and lentils. You're pure, right? Yeah, I mean, I think Indian food's gonna help. But I honestly, I honestly just think coffee, man. I mean, I think cacao. What is that band called, man? I think cacao. Forget your asshole. I just think cacao would be a really great part of what we spoke about today, Debbie. Like ceremonial grade cacao is amazing. And then there's this particular band that's, you know, got all this feminine energy. And so if I can find out what that is, but honestly, just get, even if you just go to the supermarket today for now and just get some good quality, proper cacao, you know, 100% cacao, nothing else. And start melting that down with milk or water. I used to prefer it with milk. And a bit of honey at first. It's very bitter. So you might want some honey at first, but you'll it's like the apple cider vinegar that we spoke about today. As you connect with your body, you'll grow to love the taste. But at first, when I first started drinking cacao, I had it with honey. So Debbie, we're very much looking forward to your shit reports tomorrow night. I'm already anticipating them. Yeah, we look forward to hearing. So when was the last time you had a shit, Debbie? Come on, let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. When was the last time you had a shit? So my other friend called Debbie, another wonderful woman. Like Debbie's just seems to be great. She like shits a Clegnut a week. It's mental. She has to go to like, it's just mental. She has to go to some place to get an enema, I guess, to get it out. Crazy. That's the other thing you could do, Debbie, is get an enema kit. Ah, bless you, Ludwig. I love Ludwig. I really respect this man. I really have a lot of time for Ludwig. He's a writer, and obviously that's what he's meant to be doing. And that's his passion, and talent doesn't exist. That's his passion and what has become a talent, because he's become an expert doing 10,000 hours. I'm very much looking forward to reading one of his books, whilst also acknowledging that I don't read, so it might not happen. But, you know, that's the intention. But he said something about his job. I think he said the other day that he has to speak to 40 people a day or something like that, which is just not what the nervous system is designed for. You know, the nervous system is designed to live in a tribe of 100 and see the same 100 faces, and that all have the same beliefs and all look the same, you know. And Ludwig is, you know, on the consciousness journey for sure. I don't quite know where, but, you know, Ludwig is no pleb. So, you know, he's going to feel that. So I feel for you, man. I feel for you. Do you have any, well, presumably your books, you know, do you hope that one day you can make a living from writing? Is that your goal? Do you believe in yourself enough? Keeping it real, love it. What's Love Island? That's the place you want to be, ideally. Well, it's not shaming people that do cope with Love Island. Oh, it's big this year, is it? They've managed to hook the plebs. I mean, I'd have thought, I mean, it's been going a long time. I'm surprised it's still so big. I feel like by this length of time, Big Brother had died off, but I could be wrong. Big Brother probably lasted 10 years. I feel like Love Island is 10 years. As in, it was good for 10 years. I know Big Brother went on for more than 10 years. But yeah, it's standing the test of time, isn't it? The plebs love it. Oh, it's just such trash. You know what kills it even more than the fact it's trash is the wokeism. Like, yeah, they always manage to get wokeism into these things. Like, well, yeah, the latest Big Brother, like that ginger lad got kicked out for basically, I can't remember, basically saying that men are men and women are women, I think. And obviously it was all a psyop just to scare everyone, like, you can't speak. But you know, like, why? How? That's, you know, the trash will stop me watching it. The low vibration will stop me watching it. The boringness will stop me watching it. Just watching like the worst people who have never taken a conscious breath. Like, why would I want to watch that? But even if all that wasn't enough, the wokeism would definitely kill me. Would definitely finish me off from watching it. Alrighty, about another 15 minutes, unless we get another donation. It says it may have laxative effects on some sweets and chewing gum. Yeah, I just think stay away from poison like that. There's things you can do that aren't. And by poison, I don't mean you're going to drop dead tomorrow, but you just don't want to be putting shit like that in your body. And Debbie's on a big body connection, weight loss, self-love journey. So the last thing she wants to be eating is crap like that. Prunes, yeah, I'm pretty sure prunes is a good one. I hate to point it out, but that does look like formed dissipating out of the window. Yeah, I don't know, mate. All I know is that I live under blue sky, and in the last year, I've probably seen 5 chemtrails, which of course don't exist. I don't know why you're being such a conspiracy theorist. I've seen 5 lines in the sky, which of course are just natural condensation. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to know, man. So I've kind of forgotten what a cloud should look like if that's the case. Because I could easily just think that these are clouds, but I understand what you're saying. Like when you look there, it looks very leery, doesn't it? Layers of some sorts of gas. Yeah, probably, but I just yeah, I wouldn't want to be living under the UK. That would physically scare me, as in what is happening to my body. But I believe that living out here, if it is happening, which I'm sure it is to a degree, I think there's enough counteracting energies. I think there's a lot of really high vibrations here. I think the fact that I sweat all day, the fact that I live a pretty healthy life, healthy life, I think that will counteract it. But of course, that could be cope and delusion. Debbie, open it. Is that literally a commandment to her asshole? No, Pop, not ready to do that, Tom. Just need to do its only job, really. Not ready to connect with your arsehole, do you mean, energetically? Yeah. Just drink some coffee then. Awesome. But it is all part of, I know you're focusing very much on the inner child, but it's actually really the same thing. You know, it's just switching the connecting with inner child to the asshole. It's the same techniques. And if anything, it's easier. It's definitely easier. It would actually possibly be a better starting point. Because the inner child is all conceptual and all emotional. It's all feeling. There's nothing physical. Well, actually, I mean, it does lead to physical stuff. But you know, initially that connection is very hard because there's no immediate evidence for it. The evidence comes later. Whereas your asshole, like the jaw I gave you, you know, that's very evidential. Your mind can cope with that much easier. So I would actually suggest it's part of the practice you're doing, but it's actually an earlier step in the practice, which will help you with the practice you're actually doing. So I would actually really recommend it just from that point of view. But I realize you're, you know, having a lot thrown at you right now, and it's like, well, there's only so much I can do. But I would actually say, you know, if you feel like the inner child stuff is working for you, then great, keep going. But I would actually say maybe try taking a step back and connecting with a physical part of your body first. So you start to work this muscle of connection with the body, because that is essentially what you're doing with the inner child one. But it's much harder to physically prove it to your mind and to feel anything, because it's emotion, which you've spent your whole life not feeling. So I actually think it's a really good idea to try the ass thing whilst doing all this practical stuff as well. So it looks like there's been a typo, relaxative. I think you just named a new product. I mean, it is a great product name for something that deals with the ass, isn't it? But I think it's a great way of, I think it's a great name for the process that I just spoke into of ass connection. I'm letting it be your relaxative, because essentially that's what you need to do. You need to relax. And the ass will just open. So much ass talk. I love it. Keeping it real. I have only eaten pure a few spells in my life. I have only eaten pure a few spells in my life. I think that's a typo. It's exhaustive. I have only eaten pure a few... for a few periods of time in my life. It's exhausting. Yeah, it's true. What a process. More exhausting than having the shits. But it comes good in 3 weeks. Yes, it's emotional, but your ass will thank you. I agree with all of that. I'm just wondering if I'm reading it right, but you're saying you've only eaten well, pure, for a few weeks, for a few spells in your life, and it is exhausting. But then the what a process bit makes me wonder if I'm reading that wrong or if it's been typed slightly wrong. But in general, I definitely agree with your sentiments. It is so good, isn't it, how beetroot turns you poo purple? It's super exciting. I love beetroot. Debbie loves beetroot. She already eats beetroot. And I beat you to a purple ass poo. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of easy for me because I've got a microphone on to beat you. I definitely think it's a superfood. I really like beetroot. You've reminded me about beetroot. I'm going to go get some beetroot today. Well, she doesn't like the taste. So it's, yeah, I remember this time where the ego ruled over the body. And you know, it's still like believing in that concept of personality, like I don't like, as if you're just born not liking something and it's not all deep disconnection with the body. And I explained to her and she understood that, you know, as you connect with your body, then of course you will start liking things that are good for your body. At the moment, there's more hatred directed to the body than love. So of course, part of that is not giving it what it needs, like apple cider vinegar. I think apple cider vinegar tastes amazing, but I wouldn't have thought that 5 years ago. So right now, Debbie's story is she can't drink apple cider vinegar. But obviously that will change as she learns to love herself and connects with her body. But I think you're right. I think apple cider vinegar will definitely soften her poo. I think it came up in our shadow work session and in this chat tonight for a reason. I would encourage Debbie to start drinking apple cider vinegar. But who knows? Maybe her ego will win and her story of I don't like will win, which of course is just a lie from the ego. Yeah, I'll try and find out. Mother's Cacao, Mother Nature Cacao, Love Cacao. What was it called? I think she's still on my Facebook. She's amazing. Oh, man. I'm sure I can find out for you. But it's going to take at least a week. So in the meantime, maybe just buy some. But that is definitely, yeah, I mean, it's an amazing band for you. It's just perfect for exactly where you're at and what you deserve. 6 main chocolate companies are using lab-grown chocolates from 2027. Nestle, Mondelez, Cadbury, can't remember the other three. Mars Kinder, and it means no Snickers, not Kit Kat, not Bueno. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to be eating that. I mean, I think any mainstream chocolate, anything that's not essentially cacao is not great, but, you know, at least before these ones you mentioned did have cacao in them, it looks like they're not even going to have that anymore. I mean, Cadbury's has changed a lot recently, hasn't it? They replaced some, they started using palm oil, did they? There's been a big change in Cadbury's recently where everyone's just like, yeah, it doesn't taste of Cadbury's anymore. And Cadbury's used to taste great. Cadbury's was always my favorite chocolate. I've never been a big chocolate person. I've been much more about crisps. Walker's Plum Cocktail for me is just the absolute god of junk food, along with burgers. And so I was never a big chocolater, but Cadbury's was fantastic. Definitely the best. But apparently that's all gone to shit, like everything else. Oh my God, no Turbo. What are you going to do, Phil? What are you going to do? You're going to have to start honoring your body and drinking cacao instead. Yeah, Debbie knows. That's that over with. Once the fuckery starts, we don't fuck around with it. For me, yes, it is. It is normal pooing I'm doing. So I think I've already spoken to it. I tell myself that it's because I lean in so strongly that I'm constantly purging out old energies, old toxins. I think there's a lot of truth in that. I also think there's some cope in that. I also think that, you know, I drink a lot of coffee, I smoke. Yeah, I mean, it's very much linked to smoking, I think. You know, there was a time where I was such an anxious mess, but I needed to smoke so badly, but it's like kind of a contradiction of a paradox of life. Just the thought of smoking a joint would make me shit. So therefore I shat 20 times a day because I smoke 20 joints a day. Oh, aren't we funny? Fuck me, humans, man. So recently I had 3 days of fantastic solid logs, but yeah, that is basically my normal poo is sloppy cleg nuts numerous times a day. And when I'm really in it, it's full on waterfalls where, you know, I often have to do it in a bush. I want to show you my new flowers, guys. So I bought these before, but I bought them unopened. And obviously I expected them to open, and they just went moldy and horrible and died. So I was like, I'm never buying those again. But when I went to the market today, they had already opened ones, and they're just beautiful. So I thought I'd give them another go. Aren't they good? These cost 60 pence. Just gorgeous. Keeping it real. Thanks for being the most authentic being on YouTube. Really is so refreshing. Yeah, it's my honor, mate. It's my honor. It's the only way I can do this. It's the only way I can show up. It's my unique selling point. You know, if it's just not even possible for me, but just to speak into it, like if I was to just be about the money and numbers, I can see that authenticity isn't the best strategy. However, for me, it is. It's the only way I can do it. It's the only way I can be. Like, I can't live in any other way. So it's become my unique selling point, whilst accepting that, you know, overall, it's not really a selling point. It's detrimental, purely from a numbers point of view, but I'm not bothered about that. Like, obviously, there's a part of me that's interested in numbers, but there's a much bigger part of me that's interested in being aligned, being truthful, showing the way. And by that, I just mean this is how you can be honest. You know, you can just do it and not worry about what people think. You know, I'm not like saying I'm an enlightened guru or anything, even though I do say that to trigger the plebs. But yeah, thank you for seeing it. Thank you for honoring it. Thank you for supporting it. Let's think, am I the most authentic? Yeah, I think I am the most authentic person on YouTube that I've seen. I think up there was Marshall, but he's stopped now. But I think the reason he stopped is because he wasn't ready to be truly authentic. You know, that's his barrier. But he was pretty authentic. There is someone else that I want to, it did just come to me. Small Brained Podcast is not sharing his life like I am. Nowhere near, but he's the only other honest travel blogger I've ever come across. Small Brained American. Yeah, there's very few others. Like, you know, Awaken Brave, not authentic. Jeroen, not authentic. As in, there's no point even commenting on the Awaken Brave. He's a joke. Jeroen isn't vulnerable. He can't acknowledge his shadow and his most vulnerable bits. And that's really what it is. That's how you're authentic. You know, they're still performing. They still want to be seen as, you know, teacher in Jeroen's case and Awaken Brave's case. They care about what you think. That's the difference. They still care about what others think, and they still try to be shiny in that. You know, they try to manipulate through their subconscious, I think. I don't think they're intentionally doing it. I think they genuinely think they're enlightened. And, well, Awaken Babe doesn't even know what vulnerable means in this context. He thinks it means weak, where actually it's very strong. Jeroen definitely understands the concept, but isn't able to do it. God, there's gotta be, who do I watch? Thing is, so like Lee and Jesse P. Watson, very authentic, but they're kind of like the finished article. Obviously, I know that doesn't exist, but just for simplicity, the finished article. So there isn't anything that wounded people can relate to, because they're just shining beauty and love. Whereas I'm still on the journey. I'm very relatable because I'm full of shadow, I'm full of stupidity, I'm full of neuroses. And I speak into them all and display them all so that I can see them better. Because really what I'm doing here, like, yes, of course, there's the surface level earning a living, but really what I'm doing here is my work on camera and showing my process on camera, which obviously makes my process stronger, more reflective, more intense, and therefore faster. Now, faster obviously comes from the ego, because it's, you know, that's the ego wanting to win the game. Whereas really, it's all perfectly pre-planned, let's say. You know, the die is perfectly cast, I think. And I don't really have any say. And there should be no rushing it. But of course, the ego wants to complete its own destruction as fast as it can. Because really it knows that if you rush it, then you won't do it, and therefore the ego will survive. I already boycotted Nestle and Cadbury years ago, and Nestle coffee, but yeah, I don't eat loads. Yeah, I mean, definitely Nestle has been an evil company for a very long time. All right, guys, I'm going to finish in the next 10 minutes unless somebody throws some more money in. So do that if you want it to continue. 2 days since you've had a poo. I just can't. I mean, I just can't. I think that's the end of the stream. I think you finished me off, David. So presumably it hurts. And presumably you feel very heavy. I mean, it's very hard to be a high vibration. I don't think it's possible to be a high vibrational being if you're holding a load of shit in your intestine. I'm pretty sure shit is going to be of a low vibration. And you're literally carrying around a sack in your body of shit. Like, that cannot be good for your vibration. This is such a crucial part of your journey, getting this sorted. 10 minutes for more donations if you want the stream to continue. Okay, Rachel has got some advice, so we're very tentative, but there's a chance she might know food. Technology, definitely don't go to Rachel for advice. But food, maybe. Debbie, buy some fresh beetroot, boil it for about half an hour, depending on the size, poke it with a knife to see if cooked properly. You'll shit through the eye of a needle. I'd take that advice. I think maybe Rachel might know a little bit about cooking and diet. And also, it resonates with me. I don't know, but beetroot, you know, just root chakra. I think root veg is what's potentially needed here. Get grounded. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that we talked about barefoot walking as well today. So, you know, maybe this is a grounding issue. Like, root chakra is often related to being root chakra issues. I mean, they're very complex and there's many different aspects to it, but a big part of it is not being grounded. So we talked about barefoot walking, and now we're kind of starting to see the synergy of that. I think eating root veg and meat to get grounded, you know, heavy, rooty things of the earth, which I know you don't eat fucking synthetic crap anyway, but root veg, like root veg is really coming through for me. Yeah, that's what they're called. Cafetiere. Brilliant. Can't get one out here. I have this crappy Vietnamese version. It works, but it's not got the push down bit. It's just a bit retarded. No way. The ginger guy out of Big Brother. Big Brother. Wow, it's all such a psyop, isn't it? It's all so made up. It's all such a performance. Of course he does. The latest small hat party. So a guy goes on Big Brother, blows up, gets known, gets sympathy from the right wing, joins Restore Britain. Oh, it's all just a fucking show. It's all just a show. No, I've never done that, I don't think. Now, what is it when, you know, the beetroot I used to eat as a kid was like soft, came in a packet or a tin and was soaked in, I want to say vinegar or something. That was great. Probably not very good for you. Probably killed all the nutrients. But you know, like when you go to a restaurant, like the way they typically serve beetroot, it's like it's been pickled. I want to use the word pickled. I don't know if that's right, but okay, so you know that he's a complete shill then, yeah? If he's on, anyone on Joe Rogan's podcast is a shill. You know, 100%, no exceptions. Anyone who goes on Joe, including Joe Rogan, obviously, is a shill. Rupert Lowe was on Joe Rogan's podcast yesterday over in America. Yeah. So that's, I mean, I don't need any more proof. Like, it's very obvious. But if you're questioning whether Rupert Lowe is for the good or the same club that all the others are for, well, he just went on Aleister Crowley's podcast. Joe Rogan is Aleister Crowley. And I'm not going to speak into that because it's going to be too much. You either get it or you don't. You know, you either get that they're shapeshifters and they reuse, they can't die, so they become different celebrities, or you don't. If you want to know more about that, then check out Fittest Flat Earther on YouTube. He breaks all this down brilliantly, and in my mind, he has proven that, proven is a strong word, but you know, as much as we can in this world of non-fixed truth and complete paradoxes and duality, he has near enough proven that Aleister Crowley became Joe Rogan. Good luck, Debbie. We're all rooting for you. Ooh, see what I did there? Wasn't that clever? Wow, Rachel's like, be true queen. 4 minutes to get a donation in, guys. Otherwise, the live is over. No problem if that's the case. I'm just letting you know what the situation is. I grow beetroot, Alice. Take the tops off before cooking, but leave a bit on to prevent them from bleeding in the pan. Can be messy. This one knows her beetroot. I love that you're growing your own beetroot, Rachel. That's fantastic. Somebody else thinks it's fantastic. Wow, look at Rachel becoming like a respected person in the chat. Who would have ever thought it? You're doing great, Rachel. No. No, it's not that. I'm sure it's got heart in it. I'm so close to getting it. She's based in Glastonbury, if that helps. You know, you could Google try like heart-based cacao. Something of the heart. It's something of the heart. Sacred of the heart or something like that. It's based in Glastonbury. Oh, man. Let me, right, let's see. Will my Facebook come up? Which Facebook will come up? I still haven't worked out this Facebook thing in terms of this old profile that seems to have reappeared. Oh God, I don't even remember her name. What's she called? Right, this is the right Facebook page. I can't remember her name to Google her. What's she called to Facebook her? Oh, I can't even remember her fucking name though. I will get it, and I will let you all know. But it's not that one that you mentioned. Okay, no one wants the live to continue. Well, we've got another minute now. Not no one wants. No one, you know what I mean. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom to see if anyone else has any suggestions on what this cacao is called. Well, what do you want me to say about it other than everything you already know? It's evil. They're obviously trying to poison. So this guy's asking about the chemical that they're giving to cows that is, killing them basically, all because of their farting, which is just absolute nonsense. I mean, it's just, it's just right up there with the most evil in it, and it's, they're clearly, wanting to take out what you need, which is red meat. Yeah, that's good advice. Even I can cope with growing raspberry plants. Strawberries are unbelievable. Like they proliferate like no one's business, don't they? Into the heart, cacao, maybe? I don't think it's that. Oh my God, what's she called? Can I still access my messages? Because she'll be on there. Okay, that's the end of the stream, guys. Assuming no one's putting more money in, I'm just going to try and find what this cacao is. I'm searching through my old messages because I used to buy it off her. She used to be a wholesaler for me. Wow, all these people that I forgot even existed. Fuck me, man. Oh my God. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, come on. So this is Thailand now. There's loads of Thailand people here, so it'll be just before that. Oh, Benjamin. Oh, I'm so in love with you. Where are you? Ooh, this is all a bit traumatic. Seeing my past life and all my failures. Neil Duffy, fuck me. Yeah, this is proving more difficult than I anticipated. Can't believe I can't remember her name. No, I give up. Has anyone donated? No one's donated. Right, Beloved Cacao. I don't think so. Oh, this is so annoying. I'm actually close to where she would have messaged. Come on. It's got like a really nice, it's a brown bag and then a white label, and it's got like a picture of probably a Native American woman dancing, kind of like hand drawn. Into the Heart Cacao is the only thing that's coming up, but I don't think it is that. It's definitely something heart. Oh, let me just see if I search cacao in my messages. There's no way she's not coming up if I search cacao. You're fucking kidding me. Gobsmacked. No, sorry guys, it's a damp squib. I don't have the information. That's a shame. Okay, lots of love. Thank you, everybody. A massive thank you to Suspiria, to APVUR Ban Mining. Keeping it real, I think keeping it real has been the start of the chat today. Lots of great contributions, buying 20 memberships for people. Just amazing, man. First time we've ever had a gift in the chat, so massively appreciated and a nice learning curve. And of course, always, in fact, we've had no haters, have we? We had that one hater who only left one comment. Now Debbie may inform me there's been more that she dealt with. But to my knowledge, we've only had one hatey comment. So I don't think Debbie's had to do much as a moderator, but we appreciate her for being a moderator. And we appreciate her generosity and a big heart. And we all send love to her sphincter and hope it will loosen soon. Big love, everybody. Happy shitting, Debbie.